Coming to you live is the Forestry and Sawmill Roundtable. Welcome back. Let's get started. There it goes. Go! Go, go, go! Go!
Fancy.
Well, good.
Rick, going?
All right. Are we on?
You're on, Rick.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Forestry and Sawmill Roundtable. Tonight, we're going to have a change of pace. Our guest tonight is Chris from the YouTube channel In the Woodyard. Also tonight, we are opening the roundtable up to you, the viewer, to come on live and visit with us for a few minutes, ask a few questions. Maybe we'll ask you a few questions. I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you to help support all of our YouTube channels by simply subscribing to each and every one of us. A lot of work goes into maintaining a successful YouTube channel and to pretty much throw your daily life out there for the public to watch. So, with that said, get your questions ready. We would like to welcome Chris to the roundtable. Chris, tell us a little something about yourself, how you got started with YouTube, and about your wood business in the Woodyard.
Well, first, thanks for having me on. It's great to be here. I don't know what all I'm going to be able to offer you guys. You guys are all professionals. I'm just a part-time guy, but I do okay with it and I have fun. That's the main thing. I guess I've been doing YouTube now for a little over 5 years, but I go back and start with the firewood thing. When I was 7 years old, my dad decided we were putting a wood stove in the house, and that's when I started helping make firewood. So that would have been 57 years ago. So been making firewood ever since. But then about 15 years ago, I decided that I needed to do a little bit more and get some more exercise. So I started cutting more and more firewood and had a lot of it. But at the time, I thought was a lot of firewood. I had like 40 cords, and my wife says, "What are you going to do with all that wood?" And I wasn't selling it; it was just for personal use. And I said, "Well, I think I'll sell some." So I put an ad out there, and it sold in 2 weeks. The next year I cut 80, the next year I cut 160, and now I consistently run about 200 full cords of firewood a year. And I sell it for around $40 a cord. So I do pretty good. That's just a side thing. And then about 6 years ago, my son says, you should start a YouTube channel. You might do
Is
okay
that me
with it.
lagging out?
You got me? Yeah. So I started the YouTube channel, and that's taken over the firewood now. It's bigger than the firewood. And now I get equipment to use and go to shows and talk to people. And just got back from a show actually about 2 hours ago. So it's kind of changed my whole life. I do a lot of firewood now. It's a lot of fun.
How much firewood do you think you do a year?
200 full cords a year. And that's just on the
200
side.
full
I could easily do 1,000 cords a year in my market area. But I have a full-time photography business. I've been self-employed doing that for 43 years. And I had some other small businesses. I've been self-employed forever. So I'm like you guys. I don't like to work for the man. I like to do my own thing. And I mainly started doing firewood for myself just because I wanted the exercise and I like being outside in the woods. And if I can't be up in a tree waiting for something to shoot, I want to be cutting the trees down. I like doing both. So I do a lot of that.
Okay.
So between you and your brother,
Yeah.
some of us that may not know, which one of you guys has more wood?
I have more. Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, dude, that last video where you guys were at his place and all that stacking.
Yeah. He stacks. I don't stack.
You got to admit, when it's stacked, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
When he has that, the way Ken presents that, all that up there, dude, that's.
I do very little. If I stack, I'm getting paid to stack.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
He's getting paid to stack, right?
Yeah.
With his,
He has a different, totally different type business. Mine is I sell what I call drinking wood. It's for people buying, a third of a cord or a full cord a year for their camping backyard stuff. I do have a bunch of customers buy for heating, but Kenny's almost all heating. Yeah. So his people are buying full cords. They're buying minimum, I would say 8 to 12 full cords a year from them. So, and they pick it up. So he just, like say Joe wants, this much wood. So he stacks that Joe's wood and that's Joe's wood. And he comes and gets it.
Yeah. That's a lot of work.
Yeah. He's retired.
Is he just getting has he just had a processor recently, or
he knows people with processors? He knows me, and he's got a buddy that we met through YouTube. And yes, I replant trees. My dad has a Christmas tree farm we've had for 35 years. So we plant a couple thousand to as many as 5,000 trees a year.
Okay.
For some of the viewers that don't know, what exactly is the size of a cord of wood?
Cord of wood is, if you stack it, it would be 4 feet high, 8 feet wide, 3 rows like that of 16-inch wood. So when you have it totally together, it's 4 feet across, 8 feet wide, 4 feet high, 128 cubic feet.
You said 40.
Down here in the South, I couldn't burn that much in 5 years. It don't get cold enough.
Well, we have summer generally from the 4th of July to the 10th of July.
Right.
So
not like us.
We have a lot of winter.
Chris, did you say you get $40 a cord or $400 a cord?
400 about, depending on the kind of wood. I say 400 is an average because I do sell some pine softwoods for campfire wood, and that sells for less. That's like 330, 340 for a full cord.
Okay.
And then I sell mixed hardwood, goes for 390. And then my specialty wood, which is for smoking meat, which is the higher grade stuff. The flavor wood, is I like to call it. It's the cherry, the hickory, and the white oak. And that goes for $140 for a third of a cord. So a full cord would be $420, something like that. That's kind of the average. And if somebody wants a specialty cut, length, or something, I charge more yet. And I charge for delivery and I charge for stacking.
Sounded like you said $40 a cord. We have a few people out there, $40 a cord.
Yeah.
400. That sounds more like it.
There's one thing that comes up on my channel all the time, and I didn't know this because depending on what region you're in, you have different names for wood. Some places call it a rick. Some people call it a rank. Some people call it a row, and that could be a third of a cord or a face cord. It's all the same thing.
Right.
And then there's a half of a cord, a third of a cord, and a full cord, which is the technical correct way to say it or describe it. Legal in a lot of places.
Legal.
And
I pick on here.
Yeah, and it depends on where you are. Some people go by truckload, but do you have a new truck or an old truck? New trucks have deep beds and shorter beds, but deeper in depth. And then older trucks will have a shallow bed, but might be an 8-foot bed. And do you heap it or not heap it? Is it stacked? Is it not stacked? So that's why you want to go by your cubic feet measurement, stacked.
What about bundles or bags?
The smaller quantity you sell, the more money you make per piece.
Yeah,
I call it breaking bulk.
Yeah, the more you handle it, because I know I've got a few, like Russ and some of those guys there. When you add up how they sell it, bundled or bagged, that $400 a cord turns into can be $2,000
$800
a cord.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, $2,000. That's pushing it.
Well, 1,200.
Depends where you go. There's a big producer here in Wisconsin. He's about an hour north of me. He's north of Green Bay, actually, and he sells to Chicago, and he sells to distributors. He sells by the semi-load. He sells a load every day.
Wow.
Okay.
Every day.
I had a couple of firewood people. I had a couple of clients in Park City for a while when I did firewood more often 10 years ago, and I was making $1,200 a cord on pinyon pine.
Oh yeah, pinyon pine that's high dollar stuff. I cut some of that when I was in New Mexico. That's awesome wood.
Yeah, and smells awesome. My kids were taking their old socks and filling their socks full of sawdust and then putting them on their heat vents at night in the winter.
Oh, nice. So and guys that like you guys that cut lumber on my channel will make comments sometimes, and I totally understand where you're coming from, because I cut some beautiful timber down and make it into firewood. And they're like, "Oh, what a shame! You could have made something beautiful out of that."
Yeah,
I get that all the time.
Well,
I sell firewood.
Well, that was one thing when I got to Bunyan. I had a few firewood guys I wanted to meet other than you, and a lot of them were what they asked me, "Hey, dude, if you have a mill," they were also guys that did enough firewood and had enough wood and went through and saw enough where that, hey, we want to set these aside and process these logs a little bit differently.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And I get that. Every once in a while, I'll get loads of logs in from loggers that will deliver to me, and I get junk. And there's other times I get it in. It's like, wow, I got the good stuff this time. So you try to develop a relationship with a logger trucker that's going to select the stuff you want. Because now I have a processor. Right. I've got a Blockbuster processor, a B18, and it's I can do a semi-load in a day, and that's 12 full cords. So
that's a lot of
you
wood.
want good wood though, because if you got what I call snakes, a lot of curves, or if you got bananas with a lot of sweep to them, you just fight them. Or crotchy, I call them dirty crotches. If you got those, you don't want to be in a dirty crotch. You want clean wood.
We love dirty crotches, don't we, John?
See, I'm not the dirty one here. I'm not the dirty one.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
It's like you guys do when you get any tree service wood. Same for us. You're hitting nails, you're hitting spikes, you're hitting T-posts.
Yep.
It's a nightmare.
Rick, that guy I was saying you the pictures of, one of the watch display pieces, you should have seen the piece of railroad tie he brought me to cut in half.
Nice. Big spike in it.
They were broke. They were still in there and broke. They hadn't pulled them. They were broke off.
Oh,
I'm like, dude. No, we can't. He wanted me to cut one on a 35-degree angle and, for display. I'm like, I can't attempt to, we got to find a newer one.
I had
used it as a fence, a cow fence for 40-something years.
I had a collection of all the stuff I've hit with my chainsaw, and I had a pile that was it would fill a pickup truck of stuff that I've hit. I'm sure you guys too. Oh, you got a finger?
Yeah. Those two above you have a display piece they keep around the shop.
I've cut. I'm sure you guys have cut. You ever cut bullets?
Grab that, Matthew.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I get bullets once in a while.
Matthew and Eric have buckets.
Oh yeah.
Well, we got buckets.
There you go.
But this is our new favorite one.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah,
trying
looks
to
like
kill a
something
squirrel
else.
or something?
guys.
Somebody trying to kill a squirrel in the hole?
Hardware store?
That was my tree house when I was a little feller.
Did it fall out of the tree?
I killed that tree and
Holy
the other
cow.
two with it.
Yeah.
I
Eric,
had
that thing
something
looks like
happen
an alien.
I had something happen like that about 10 years ago. I was cutting tree on my dad's land. It was a big oak tree that died. and it was in a spot where it was on the side of a hill and it was dead. So I cut it down. I got right to probably about 20 feet up on it. And I was on the ice in the wintertime. I had to drop it over a pond, and I was cutting away. All of a sudden the saw just, like what in the world? I'm 20 feet up in the tree and I'm pushing on it like an idiot. It was a spike, about a 10-inch spike, the size of like your thumb. I cut it in half. And then it dawned on me when I was about 17. I had a deer stand in that tree. That was my nail. I put in the tree. Then I cut it with the chainsaw, ruined the chain. So it was my own fault. It was kind of
Got your own whooping out of it.
Yep. Here's your one. I
Oh,
found
nice.
this one.
Insulator.
I found this one 40 feet up in a white pine. It was 36 inches. Second cut, because I know the guy when he cut them. He brought them in 20-foot lets. This was put in the tree probably when it was 6-8 inches big. 1940s in Hendersonville. They run power to the guy's house. And when he cut this tree down, it was like 48 inches at the base.
Wow.
Been in there a long
Been
time.
in a long time. Yeah. There's always, we call them surprises.
Yeah.
I always say the best way to find something in your wood too is sharpen your chain, start
Or
cutting,
put on a new
you'll
blade.
find a nail.
Yeah. Put a new one
Oh
on.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you got a wood miser or Norwood, whatever, just put on a new band. Yep. First time.
Same as a chainsaw. Yeah.
Yep.
I had some magnolia a while back. Lady had dropped off. It meant something to her. It come from the family place, and she just wanted it slabbed up. And it was a big old gnarly, nasty thing. And we put it up on the mill. First cut, hit. Put on a blade. Second cut, hit. Rolled it out in the yard and took my 4-foot bar on 3120 Husky. It was going to saw that leg off of it and hit a 3/8 threaded rod.
Might as well dull all your chains and teeth.
I told Matthew, I said, you can take that away from here before I lose my cool. Called the customer and told them they were several $100s into the log and I hadn't got the first piece off of it. If they wanted to continue, I had to get paid first. and they paid.
Oh,
But I wasn't putting another blade in it until I got what I'd already sunk into it.
Yeah.
That's like that metal I hit with my planer blades before the show started. I was telling you about that guy brought them logs. They're probably 32-inch pine. Oh,
That
they
was today.
ain't got no metal in them. I said, all right. Well, the
Yeah.
center 8-inch by 8-inch cant, that's where I found the nail. So they was put in there 50 years ago.
do you guys
You'll
get
learn
metal?
real quick, Rick, with that planer molder. You just tell people that's part of like sawmilling. If I hit nails, here's a blade charge. If I run your wood through my molder, it adds up real quick.
Or
If you get real
sawmill. I mean,
expensive.
you charge for a band, a planer, a
yeah.
knife. Anything. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just
Yeah.
cost of doing business.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you guys use metal detectors at all?
no.
I don't
Our metal
know.
detector is the blade.
Listen, metal,
Might want to
get
invest
this-
in them. We've got them. They work.
I
Yeah,
get this
you get a good
argument
one.
all the time. A metal detector that you can buy will only read a couple inches into the wood.
No,
Some
you gotta
of
get a
them.
good one.
Okay.
Some of them.
And even a better one won't read all the way the middle. I got logs laying out here that are 48 inches across.
Well, when I talked to Mark Galici this year at Bunyan, that runs the bus motors production.
Yeah.
I believe
All the big
he's
mills
got a-
around here have them, but they're so powerful you're not allowed to get anywhere near it. You know,
They're in
they're-
Pennsylvania. He runs his across that every log that goes onto his log deck.
Mhm.
Well, pretty nice if you had a portable X-ray machine that you just run right over the log.
if you
Maybe
got
I'll take
15
That modern
employees,
equipment has all that in it.
Does
if
it?
you got 15 employees downstream, yes, you need to do it.
Right.
But it's me and Matthew. If I hit something within 2 minutes, the blade's tight and we're sawing again.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's a return on investment and it's really not worth my time and trouble to check, 100 logs every day.
Well, yeah, it just all depends on how many guys are getting yard trees versus guys that are, I can't cut for inventory or, the stuff out of yard trees.
The best thing you can do though is just tell them right up front if you're cutting their wood, charge
yeah.
them for damage.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
I got a blade
That's up
charge,
front.
and I tell them if it's a piece of pine and I hit something, we'll just throw it away. I said, now if you got a beautiful walnut log, a hickory log, or a big old beautiful white oak or something, you may want to pay for another blade, and let's keep on cutting. But every log is different.
Yeah.
We cut some wood that, if you put a new blade on every cut, it's still fine. The wood's worth that much. But a 1x6 pine is not worth a brand new
Right.
band.
That's what I do. Just
No.
throw them in the burn pile.
That's how
Eric,
Out there,
Hey.
get another one.
Eric, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you guys let customers leave logs at your location without a deposit?
Yeah, but I'm dealing local. When they drop them off, I put them on the
I
list.
am too. I was too. So after my first 4 years of milling, I had to say I don't have enough room to be a storage facility.
Now I tell you what,
If I take money from them, they'll come back and have stuff cut. If
I haven't had that problem. Okay.
Okay.
If it become a problem, I'd do something different.
Yeah.
But now what I do charge deposits if I'm doing a big job that's going to go from sawing to kiln drying to turn it into hardwood flooring.
Yeah,
I'll tell
more
them-
steps than just the mill.
I'll tell them, look, I'm going to saw your lumber, and when I get it sawed, I'm going to send you a bill for the saw bill, and it'll not move forward until you pay that bill. That's your deposit. Is basically paying a saw bill, and that gets them invested.
Yep.
I don't charge anybody when they drop logs off because usually especially if you're gonna do the whole process or whatever, like this guy that flooring I was telling y'all about earlier. I mean, if he don't buy it, if he don't come pick it up, which he is, that just goes on the market.
Oh yeah,
That's-
and I don't charge my contractors, my good, high volume customers. But if you're a new customer, me and you are going to get to know one another. And I do a lot on Marketplace. And I had a guy the other day call me. He wanted, like $5,000 worth of maple. And I'm not going to proceed with that order until he marches himself over here and we converse face to face. And then we go from there. Because it's
Right.
too much money for me to move around without knowing them personally.
Or something
Yeah,
special.
You're a mill, not a bank.
An order
Exactly.
like that, there would be a down payment before I ever got
Oh, yeah.
started.
Half down.
because
Yeah.
that was 5,000 feet of spalted maple. It was crazy, or 1,000 feet of it, or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't that much footage, but it was high dollar footage.
I've had some restaurants that want wood cut to a specific length instead of being standard 16. They want like 12 inches or 14 or something like that, which I did it one time for a guy and it ended up biting me in the butt and I won't do it again. So now if they ask for a special size, it's like you're going to pay for it ahead of time because it's
You
your
always
wood.
got to look out for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. If somebody asks you to do something a little out of the way, whatever, okay, put some skin in the game. I bought a truck this week, sitting right there. I'm looking at it, and the guy he traded a skid steer for it. It's a cab and chassis. A year and a half ago, the guy said, "Oh yeah, I'll buy it if you put a dump bed on it." He's runs a metal fab shop. It's got a brand new dump bed on it, and the guy never come back. I said, "Well, you should have made him buy the truck or put some skin in the game."
Yep. Which, yeah, by the way, we bought a new truck, even though it's not out on video yet.
How many of you guys have YouTube channels?
Other
Everybody.
than the ambulance?
Yeah, it's gone.
I think
Yeah,
everybody
it's
out
gone.
there.
That
Everybody
left
does.
on
Okay.
There you
Thursday.
go.
So how long you guys all been doing the YouTube thing?
3 or 4 years for us.
About 3 years.
About 3 years.
No. 2 years from now.
I
20?
think we've been doing it about 12, 15 years.
Really?
Yeah.
We got in early.
They got crap
But
to
it's
show for it
changed.
either.
It's changed. It's changed a lot. We started out flying a Piper Cub to a hunting channel to fishing, and now sawmill, firewood, stuff like that.
The channel I got now, I started just for firewood. I got another channel that was, I did for about 3 years and it started making good money, but we got demonetized because we were doing American things legally, trapping and hunting and fishing.
I've told a couple of these buddies about out of the wood yard.
Yeah. So I took it and I had it up for a year, not making any money, but they kept making
Right.
money on it. I said, well, BS, I'm taking it down. So I took all the videos down. So now I got to watch it because I don't want to get demonetized on this channel because I do really well on it.
Well, we've been, when we were a hunting channel, we were warned a couple times with
Yeah.
firearm stuff.
I never got
It's
warned.
kinda-
They just demonetized me. Boom, overnight. Just,
Yeah, they
What
don't
they
want to
get?
see the firearms. They don't want to see.
What did they say the
any
problem
animals
was?
hurt.
animal abuse.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Really?
Because I guess some people don't realize that when you go to the deli or whatever and you buy your meat, it's not in the back room. It's
Mhm.
animal the day before. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hamburgers don't come to the field. They come from a cow.
no, and the
Yeah, they
vegetables were
They
alive at
grow
one
that
time
stuff
too.
now.
I don't answer that question. But how do you decide to price lumber?
That's a loaded question.
Oh, that's
You
why I
got
put it
to
up there.
price your lumber to your market. My price has nothing to do with your area. Has nothing to do with these guys up north or out west. Your
Yeah.
price is for your area. In my area, white oak is cheap. You go up there to John's neck of the woods, white oak is outrageous.
It's like down here. I mean, there's no hardwoods hardly at all.
Yeah.
So if you have anything, most of the time you getting it hauled in by a big
They-
load to make it
yeah,
even
they-
worse. for them to
They
drive.
ought to send you a load of white oak. You can send me a load of Seeker cypress.
That'd be a trade off right there, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
I
What's
Where
the
are you on,
question?
Matt?
What's
answer
the,
that one. We're not tree people.
I don't know. Call a tree.
Right.
man.
Maybe
Yeah.
Chris.
I'm a real good friend with a tree guy, and I mean the normal price. I guess it's depends too on how close is it to the house, what all is involved. But I mean, it could be anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 for a big tree overleaning a house.
Yep.
The guy I know's got a 100-foot bucket truck. He can go up to the top of them, and he's got a jib on it, so he'll cut a branch, swing it out away from the house, drop a piece, and sit there and just little by little cut that tree from the top down.
I had a contractor bring me a tree this week, 5 butt cuts, 8 foot long, and a 16-foot top cut. Is one whole poplar tree. The butt cut is 48 inches, and he said he left 4 foot on the stump because they couldn't get the saw around it.
That's a good one.
The contractor
That's a big
tried to
tree.
get the homeowner to cut the tree before they dug the basement and built the house. Wouldn't listen to him. Before they got the house done, the tree died. That $1,000 tree probably cost them 10 grand. So they had to bring in
Yep.
a monstrous crane.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes
it's
y'all
easier,
lose-
We cut-
to get the stump while the tree's still attached to it.
Oh my God, the stump might weigh 30,000 pounds.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we cut a big tree down in the woods. It takes about a half a tank of gas and a chainsaw in about 15 minutes. But I have a maple tree out. I have a maple tree out in the front yard that had to have several limbs cut off of it because they were getting close to the power lines. And a tree guy wanted $1,500 to come out and trim that tree.
Oh yeah.
Is that
Around
what you were
here-
sending me pictures of up in the frickin' tree at 80 years old?
Yep.
Around here, if you
Yeah.
got a tree over a power line, you call the power company, and they will take care of it for free.
Yeah.
because they don't want it on their line.
Mhm.
And
Well,
most
they won't
tree
take
guys-
care of it. They won't take care of it if it's the line between their pole and your house.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. If
So
it's a
Chris,
main
talk
line,
about
they'll do it.
talk to us a little bit about your new relationship with those other guys that have orange equipment.
You're talking about Blockbuster or Husqvarna?
Well, both of them actually.
Yeah, I had about 4 years ago, Andrew Easton Made called me. He makes the Easton Made firewood splitters and firewood processors. And he wanted to know if I wanted a processor. And I said, well, someday. He says, well, no, I want to give you one, make videos for me. Because he was just starting to do it. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
So I had
Yeah.
that. I had
Nice.
one of the big one of those for about 3 years. Did hundreds of videos with it, and then they sold it, and they were going to get me a different model, but it wasn't ready. There was a different one that didn't work out for them, and then it just kind of lagged. And then in the meantime, Blockbuster got a hold of me and said, "Hey, we're interested in working with you." And so they started me out with their small machine. It's a 1412. It can do probably a full cord an hour.
So you had a timing thing where were you without a processor for a minute?
about a week.
Yeah, so,
Oh,
yeah, I was gonna
Ooh,
say,
that was a rough week,
how
wasn't it,
many-
Chris?
I was gonna ask how many days was it?
Not much. Actually, they might have overlapped slightly. Now we come to think of it, I think I did. I had one at a different location.
Now, Greg,
so
I
got
seen
a good.
a wood miser the other day like yours. I didn't know they made it. It don't have a motor on it. It has a skid steer quick attach, and you plug into the hydraulics on your skid steer.
That would be the SF the FS 350.
I didn't know they made that. That's pretty slick. You don't have to deal with
Yeah,
another
so
motor.
guys, yeah, that's it's split. The style of splitting is the same as mine, but the power plant is different.
Yeah, just a skid steer or whatever you got handy.
They have a smaller
All right.
version.
One of you guys want to answer that question up there?
Yeah. So real
Sorry.
quick, let's run that question around the table. The biggest diameter tree I've ever cut down was 73 inches. It was a live oak down in South Carolina.
That's big.
Go ahead, Eric.
That I personally cut down, probably 3.5,
Yes.
4 feet.
Yeah.
I have the capability of cutting one 8 foot down, but
I don't want to.
I don't want to. I don't cut trees for a living. We cut lumber and logs. Okay.
Andy, how about you and Paul?
Paul does most of the felling. He's cut the larger trees down. Probably the largest one was that double cherry. I don't know how big that was. It was huge.
John?
Huge. You guys have a huge. Huge is there. To me, that's different than what Tim is huge.
Yeah, and
Narrow it down,
it's
Andy.
a lot different than the pine you guys got too. So,
And
but
spruce.
yeah, we're
What's the biggest diameter
Well,
tree, John, you ever cut down?
4 foot
4 foot.
that I ever
Chris?
cut down by myself.
We had a 58-inch ash tree we cut down. So I got a couple 3120s with. I got one with a 5 foot bar and it just cut it. So that was the biggest one.
Was that with your dad and Ken?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
That was a big one, yeah. And that's when I get a lot of comments from guys like you, like, "Oh, that could have been such good lumber," and because it had a lot of character. It was a real bulky tree with a lot of limbs, but we got almost 7 full cords of firewood out of it.
Yeah, dude.
$400 a full cord, so
When
the tree was worth $2,700 to me.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
people I sold it to, you know what they did after they burned all that wood? They
Give you a
ordered more.
bonus.
They
Yeah.
ordered more.
Yeah.
Ordered more.
Well,
So
when
there's the difference.
when I saw you guys doing pre-cuts with the saw for your big saw,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
It was fun. Yeah. That's just a toy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 2 of them now because they had a sale on them. So I bought another one just because I could.
Well, yeah. You gotta have a backup.
Well, I was talking to a guy at the Bunyan show about 4 years ago, and he had a 881 and he had a 3120. So he had the steel and the Husqvarna, and he was running both of them. And I said, honestly, because I was thinking of buying a big one just for a toy. And he said, get the Husky. It always starts, always runs. He said the steel they always have problems with. So that was him, not me.
I've
That was him.
run an 880 since 07. And
I got the
I've done
3120.
881,
You're
but
right.
I
They
don't
do
have
great
too much
and they
time
do
on it.
run.
Nice. My favorite saw is the one that's running and is sharp. I don't care.
Exactly.
I got them all.
So-
I like all of them.
So do any of you guys run an EFI saw?
Yep.
Do they start easier than the
500i.
carbureted? Do they start
The-
easier than the carbureted?
The 500i you're talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've run a whole
500i.
bunch of them. I just got I got 2 new Husqvarna, the 664s. I got a couple of those now. And I got a few.
We were getting that. We were getting that part of the orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about your saw. Tell us about your relationship with your Husqvarna.
I can't say a whole lot because it's kind of unofficial. But if there's something I want, I get it.
Yeah.
And I do videos and they know it works. And
Yeah.
But then I got a deal. I got another. The deal I do have is with a distributor. It's called Saw Suppliers.
Yeah. Okay.
Sawsuppliers.com. They sell all 3 brands. They got, well, actually more than 3 brands. They got lots of brands, but they got the Echo, they got Husqvarna and Stihl. And you can, if you order a saw, you'll have it within usually 24 hours.
Yeah.
And they're really good prices. They sell tons and tons of chain. They buy a mile of chain at a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's serious. And I got a good deal with them. So if people buy through them with my link, they get 10% off and I get a kickback. And that's been really good.
Yeah. So that's where guys like me, I get in trouble because I've got to share the, I've got to buy, if I'm buying a roll of chain, I got to wait and buy 2 so I can use you for one and us for the other one.
Yeah. We've done it with bar oil. My brother and I bought 2 50-gallon drums of bar oil just to get a deal.
Yeah. I know I had one of the friends we met out at Bunyan. She was like, "Where was you? I was looking for you on Sunday. I had a pallet of bar oil for you." And I was like, "Oh, don't tell me that." I knew you drove out there and you brought stuff, and I knew you were going to have an empty truck. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, why?" She's like, "I had a whole pallet." It was the one logger Barbie that was next to Bucking.
Yeah. Got a question on the Husqvarna 564. Well, I had the guy, Rick, I call him Santa Saws. If he's the Husqvarna demo guy, he's been all over the world basically. So he had one of 2 saws in the United States, and he flew here to one of our dealers with the saw, and I ran a tank through it, and it was awesome. And it's lighter than like a 572 or a 372 or a 500. It's a little lighter. Cuts real good, cuts real fast. So I think it's going to be a good all-around saw for an average guy, or a guy that wants just one good one. But they've got some issues now. They're sucking in fines in through the the air filter, and they're getting some issues of bogging. My first one, I think I ran 13 tanks through it before I noticed anything.
Some of the guys that did the 500i
Same thing, yeah.
actually had the same issue.
Yep.
Some of the guys out west come up with that gasket.
Yep. Because it has to have so much more air. It's just sucking it so much faster, and it's not a traditional, it's fuel injected instead of carbureted. It's different. It's a different animal. And being it's their first one for Husqvarna, just like Stihl, their first one.
When the 500i come out.
Yeah, there's going to be a few issues. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and there's a simple fix for it. It's just give them a minute.
Yes, yeah, and Stihl does I think 1.7 billion in sales a year, and Husqvarna does 1.3. They're pretty big companies. They'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, they
got engineers.
That's why we run a washing filter on.
They'll figure it out quick.
Yeah,
and there's a reason why they offer so many models.
Yeah, fill every little
so many
niche.
different applications.
Yeah. You know the right number of saws to have. You know what that number is?
Oh yeah.
What is
All
it?
of them.
As
More.
many.
More.
Yeah.
How many can you run at one time? One.
No, I can have them all running, but I just cut with one, and then I grab the next one.
Right.
You start with all sharp chains, and then you just pick them up as they go.
I learned that from a Amish guy. Actually, I was at a Boy Scout camp about probably 15 years ago with my son, and this Amish guy pulling a sled in the wintertime, and he had like 5 chainsaws stacked up in it. And I wasn't cutting that much wood at the time. I had like maybe 2 or 3 chainsaws. And he was going. I said, "Boy," I said, "you got a lot of different saws. Do you need all those?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I don't work on saws when it's cold in the winter." He said, "I get paid to produce." He says, "If I get trouble, I set the saw down, grab the next one." So made sense.
Brad, did you see that? Did you see that, Rick? What Brad said?
Yeah. What's that?
Craig
He
loves
gave
orange.
Craig a big little heart. Give Craig a heart. He loves Craig.
He knows I like. Well, he runs a Norwood out there in New York. You're Rick.
Correct.
Who's that?
Brad.
The Buffalo Brad.
You're talking about Buffalo.
Brad.
Yeah, Brad. I know Brad. He
Orange.
runs. He runs an oil.
Yeah. Did he send you?
Yeah.
Did he send you koozies?
Yep.
He did.
Koozies, shirts. Yep.
What color?
Red.
Red.
Red koozies, a black shirt, and a gray shirt.
Yeah. See, he pays attention to what mill you have.
Correct.
He sent us a couple of gold nuggets too.
Did you
Correct.
send him any Sawyer tags yet?
Yeah, I sent him a bunch
Yeah, we
of shit.
sent him some stuff.
Stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Chris, we're gonna have to send you out some Sawyer tags that have out of the wood yard on them.
Out of the wood.
Yeah, Rick does some awesome work.
Cool. So do you
So,
guys, all you
just out of
guys cut your own
curiosity-
trees down, or are you buying from loggers? What do you are all the above?
Spam coming through.
I definitely don't cut trees down. I have I'm friends with some, I guess, guys that clear land for real estate and everything else. And
Do you getting good prices too then?
yeah, because if he's a real good friend of mine, and on top of that, all they're going to do is burn them.
Hey, there's Craig.
So
So you get the FREE ones?
I can get some of them too.
Oh yeah, that's ones I
The one thing with free, usually everybody thinks free is free, but it comes with a lot of time and
Correct.
labor quite often.
Correct.
Now,
Yep.
I don't know what they charge
Really?
in y'all's area, but around here, it's if a grader clears a lot and he hauls it to the landfill, it's $75 a ton to drop.
Right here too, yeah.
It's a whole lot cheaper for him to haul me 2 or 3 truckloads of logs and drop them off and not get paid
Yep.
than it is to go over there and spend,
Yeah.
$2,500 at the dump.
Yep.
Take care
Yes.
of your graders.
Yeah.
And if they drop off 2 or 3 logs that are garbage, pick them up and throw them away. Don't worry about it.
That's
Some
right.
guys are getting chippers now, and they're just chipping and they sell biomass, and so trying to get as much production out of the resource as possible.
That's good too,
Right.
but most of these graders around here don't have $500,000 to put in the chipper. They want to put it in the truck and get rid of it.
Right? Yeah.
And see,
Did we
that's,
say hi to our buddy Craig? Did you see him? Did you see
Yep.
that, Chris?
Yep. I saw him. I said, "Hey, Craig, there he is." Yep.
He's awesome.
They're at the Bear Paw Scout Camp. That's where I was the last 2 days. We cut.
Oh, is that what he's saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
We
gonna
did
ask you.
volunteer work at a Boy Scout camp. We cut, I think, maybe 12 full cords. There was like 15
Okay.
of us. We did it in about a day and a half. It was pretty
Okay.
awesome.
So tell me his location again.
The Bear Paw Scout Camp.
Where
Greg,
he's out of.
He's in southern Wisconsin, but he's at the camp right now. I left early to come be with you guys because you're special.
Yeah, I knew
Craig-
it.
Craig's special.
I was gonna tell these guys at the end, hey guys, I've been waiting for this guy.
But
Yeah, very cool.
I think
Yeah,
this is the
we're
most
special,
talkative
all
you've
right.
ever been, Craig.
Well, this is the first time they've sent me the freaking link in 2 months.
Oh, stop.
Yeah. Well, I tell them in the wintertime I've got plenty in the summertime, 8 o'clock. I still got 4 hours of work. It's only 6.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
There's Jeremiah. He's also one of the guys at the Scout Camp. They're having a blast.
Okay,
You know what
yeah.
that means? That means right about now, everybody's had a 6-pack or 2.
Yeah.
That's my guess. They're by the fire.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling super
Best-
special
best
now.
time.
Awesome.
Yeah, you guys get to talk about firewood. I couldn't cut it and give it away. I could haul it to their house and give them $20 to let me drop it off, and they still wouldn't.
Do you guys have restaurants around there that smoke meat,
absolutely.
some, but
barbecue?
Yeah,
That's big money.
Oh yeah.
They'll pay for good wood.
It's hard to find the
Russ
like
does good
hickory
at
and
that.
pecan and stuff you need down there. I mean, there's a pecan, a few hickory trees, but
You might want to have it trucked in. It might be worth it.
right.
If you can get the accounts, I got accounts for restaurants where it's every 2 to 3 weeks, $300-400 every. Oh, and they're having pork chops too.
They have that one. They have that one up there. It's actually called the hickory hog, and you can smell the hickory wood burning when you
Yeah.
go in. I mean, it's
yeah, if you've got spare time, I agree. Go do it. We're covered up with what we got. I don't need to stick my
Right.
fingers in another fire.
Yeah,
I don't need
you're
another.
right.
career.
You can't do everything. You gotta pick and choose your battles and go where you're most profitable or what you like the most. I mean, life's short. You gotta have fun with what you're doing. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I spent 25 years working in
Absolutely.
back door restaurants. I don't care to go in the back door. I go in the front and eat and pay and leave.
Yeah, Mr. Boat Ray. I sell.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah, there's a guy you guys might have heard, or some of you might have. He's in Ohio. It's Ohio Joe. Yeah, he has a show actually in about 3 weeks. It's the International Firewood Expo, and most of his business is restaurants.
Is he the one that was getting flooded out this winter?
Yeah, he had to flood half his wood yard floated away.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw
It's
that.
funny
And-
now,
and-
but it wasn't at the time.
Was he? What did I see him keeping equipment in connexes out there?
It could be. I don't know. I don't watch hardly any YouTube. I'm too busy. I would do a video every day, so I don't watch much.
Very
Yeah,
good.
it's kind
I
of
know
tough.
enough
It's kind
what's
of tough to watch. It's kind of tough to watch YouTube when you're making your YouTube videos all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, I get asked all the time. Oh, what channels do you watch? None. I mean, if I watch
Well-
a channel, it's because I want to watch a hunting show or a fishing show or something like that. I'm not watching firewood stuff much.
I don't watch sawmilling videos. If I watch
Yeah,
something
no,
on video, it's
Yeah.
Well, I decided to tune into a sawmill video here not too long ago. One of these guys around here in the same picture. Well, when I seen him, he was sitting down, sawing a log, sitting down. So if he was
Did he have
sitting down and sawing, I figured he could be on his phone being productive.
I was ripping
Did he
wood.
have his feet? Did he have his feet up?
Crossed.
earbuds in. Yep.
Wrong way, Craig. The other way. Other way, Craig.
Okay, sorry, my
Go
bad.
first.
Okay, my bad.
Sorry, I smacked my mic.
Yeah, sometimes I have to saw by myself, and I take advantage of sitting down and put my feet up while the saw
Poor
runs through the log.
baby.
I've done that. Just if I rip a big log, something I can't lift onto the splitter, I'll sit down and let the saw run down through the log if I'm ripping it.
Well, talk to us about talk to us a little bit about how these guys are they like to engineer some of their stuff, you know, to perfect
There's Chris.
they perfect their equipment to fit them better. Tell us
Right.
kind of some of the stuff you do with your chainsaws to do the same thing.
Probably one of the biggest things that I did. I just came up with this because I was watching a show once and I see guys measuring their cuts, and they're marking it with either spray paint or they got a gizmo that's called a mingo marker, or they're got a little saw and they're using a stick and they measure, or they got a magnetic thing on their bar and they can make their cuts and they lay it all out. Well, I just took some electrical cable ties or zip ties, put them on my handle, measured from the bar to the end of it 16 inches, put some pink tape so I could see it. And every time I lay the saw up against the log to cut, it's 16 inches. So I don't have to measure. You just cut. Saves a
Right.
You
ton of
just
time.
use that zip tie as a guide, correct?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fast, easy, simple, cheap. And yeah, they break
And-
once in a while when it's cold, but
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, and replaceable.
so yeah, they work really good.
Yeah, very
It's
cool.
fast and cheap and easy. And then I went to no stacking. That was huge.
Was that because of when you when you were seeing all the cones?
Yeah, I went to there's a big producer, well, actually two different producers, and they never. Well, one of the guys does 500,000 firewood bundles a year. They do 2 million in sales a year on bundled firewood. He never touches the wood.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh, he's doing that. And then I saw the other guy that's selling the semi loads to Chicago every day, going down to people for their barbecues and backyard fire pit type stuff. And they're selling very expensive. And obviously the trucking cost is high, but he never touches the wood either. Everything's processed right onto the ground, and then you pick it up with a big bucket, like a rock bucket. It gets dumped into a trough, and then it gets up an elevator into a tumbler, and then it gets tumbled into another elevator into their trucks, and then they deliver it. They never touch it.
Do you know where that is, John?
Nope.
It's called.
Chicago.
Yeah, he goes down to Chicago. Yeah, it's.
Well, yeah, I know where Chicago is. I don't know where this guy's delivering his lumber to by the semi load.
Yeah,
No.
well, it goes to distributors, and people.
It's not John's house.
Right.
That's right. He's from Illinois.
I know where Chicago is. Well, I know where Utah is too.
Hey, John. John, I just got to say this live in front of everybody. Guess who used diesel drip?
I know. I
Ooh.
know.
I know.
Isn't that
Guess.
right?
You guys guess.
That's the only thing to use on pine for sure.
Exactly.
Have we got a new convert?
There he is.
No, it
No.
didn't work. It didn't work, but
No, it didn't work.
You
It didn't work.
Tell Chris we
I've
were already
got-
talking
we-
about him.
We drug some kind of pine out of the stump dump. I don't know what it was. It's dead. The bark is off of it. I started to saw it, and it gummed the blade up so bad. I've never had one gum up that bad. And I was running the Dawn and the pine salt on it hard. So I switched over to a diesel drip fast, and a diesel slow run, and it still built up pitch on that blade horribly. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna push it off in the woods, and there it'll sit because I'm not sawing the next log.
We can send
So-
Paul and Andy and see if theirs works.
Try
We
Did
like
you
the cotton spindle lube.
We got 5 gallons. You can have it. It doesn't work for us.
Oh,
No,
really?
Not at all. It was worse than Dawn dish soap.
Well, Chris says he's had one, Rick. I wonder what it was. Chris, do you know what kind of log that is?
What kind?
No.
So-
Chris with Standard Living. Said he
Oh
had one
yeah.
like that last week.
Sorry.
So Rick, have you got the bark off on 4 sides? Yeah?
The log didn't have any bark on it.
Or have you got the flitches off on 4 sides?
Yeah, I got the flitches off 4 sides. It doesn't matter. I don't know what it is. It just gums the blade up horribly. I even replaced the blade and started
Yeah,
using the
I saw
diesel
the
on
video.
it. And
I know.
I don't know.
A good
the-
supplement with your diesel would be some automatic transmission fluid, just a little bit. It cuts
Didn't think
through
about
sap like nothing.
I mean, I
Well,
have.
I got-
Think about that.
all I cut is southern yellow pine, and the wiper system for your lube assists the diesel to keep that blade clean. I mean, I'll have some build up right on the back of the tooth itself, but on get back behind the gullet, there's nothing ever builds up there, and it has to be a really sappy tree to get that build up on the teeth.
We'll get some long needle southern yellow pine here occasionally. The butt cut will be almost orange. It has so much sap in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We call it fat lighter.
That's
I mean,
right.
You can
That's
strike
Oh,
it next
yeah,
to it.
yeah.
We got a piece of it over here somewhere.
A lot of times that's where a tree was wounded or something like that, and it grew back over it, and it'll be really hard and dark, and it won't be anything but sap.
Yeah. Worst we've run into in a long time. I saw a bunch of white spruce come off the top of the mountains up here, and it would have pitch pockets. It'd be a cup,
Oh, yeah.
2 cups of just clear sap. It was like
Yeah.
clear
Yeah.
super glue.
And it was falling all
We've
over
had
the
that.
floor.
Yeah.
I believe did we address the Bigelow Woodcraft, Tim?
You see the color in that? That is pure
Question?
sap.
That burned good.
What's that? What's that, Greg?
Oh, that's not actually a question. I'm trying to think if I met that gentleman at Bunyan or not.
Which
The
one?
Bigelow
Are you-
Woodcraft. There was Chris. You might be familiar with the kid that was there with us that was in the orange shirt that had the he was from, I don't know if he was from Global Machinery, but he was there at the same time with us that you were out there with Dan. And I believe the Bigelow Woodcraft is the guy that was with him.
Kind of remember.
Maybe he
I
can
don't know
chime
who-
in and tell us if that's him or not. I think he runs a Frontier mill. And I can't remember where he
There was only like what 17,000 people at Bunyan, so it's a little hard to remember.
Only.
Greg remembers them all. He's
Now, Eric, isn't fat lighter just about turpentine?
It is. It can be so rich.
Yep.
It
That
just
was
don't
him.
take nothing to start a fire with it.
Yeah.
No.
We call it
but I
fat
mean,
wood.
Nick. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah.
Nick,
This stuff's been cut
super
for
good
a couple
guys.
years, and
it's
it
been
still
dried.
smells.
Jerry.
Do you guys sell your,
I've brought-
your,
I've-
your cutoffs and stuff for
Yep.
anybody? What do you do with your cutoffs, or what do you do with
Yep.
your slabs?
Sell
Do you
them for
sell
wood.
slabs at all?
Wood.
They go
No,
away.
we got a guy that
Firewood.
comes get ours for firewood.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
southern yellow pine, you really ain't got no use for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have firewood. I mean, it don't get cold enough to burn anything really, and
Hmm.
you got so much
Can't,
of it.
sm-
Just,
can't smoke with it.
yeah,
No,
it's
you
just
definitely can't smoke with it.
burn. It just sit by a burn fire every evening.
We have a lot of maple syrup producers, and they like the slab wood because it's thinner and it's fairly dry when you get it. They buy bundles at a time, and they can feed their fire
Yeah.
from making maple syrup. That's popular. And then a lot of people, we call them outdoor wood boilers for heating. A lot of people will buy that. The problem is it's mostly bark, so not a lot of BTUs in it. So
Right.
I've had a guy
we
here
cut
for
all-
the first time. I've had a guy here for the first time since 2018, and he's been here for 2 weeks and 3 days. So what, 13 days? And he's been doing nothing but cut and slash in the 16-inch pieces.
wow.
You're talking about your offcuts, right, Greg?
My off cuts.
You
Yeah,
must have
they
had
call
one
slash
extra
out there.
slab pile if you hadn't burnt
Yeah,
since
what-
2018.
Well,
I told Craig-
since then I've burnt plenty out of that pile as well, though.
Yeah.
So if I
Are your-
didn't take anything out of that every year, that pile would be 3 times that size.
Are your slabs
Well, I told-
still viable after 3 or 4 years? Around here, if I stack up hardwood slabs, 2 years. If you don't get them used, they're gone. They're rotten.
Oh yeah,
Rotten
no,
mold.
dude, mine just goes from yellow to gray. The
Oh, he also
density and
has no
everything is
humidity.
all still the same. It just turns a different color.
You're very dry climate, though, aren't you?
I'm in the
Yes.
driest climate in the country.
That's why.
Me too, Craig.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get
300% humidity.
Neil wants to tell me about his kiln. I kind of asked Neil about he's excited to tell me about his kiln, and
Greg sends me pictures of the weather. It's like 40% humidity. I send him the same picture the same day, and it'll be 95% humidity.
You mean it's 14% humidity?
There you go, 14%.
Yeah. It's either 14 or 99, and it's raining.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Well, it's 99 here, and it's dry.
We get down to about 6% humidity here sometimes, but it's 20 below zero when it does.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, no, thank you.
That's when you
So,
get that powdered
Chris,
snow, right?
Do you know
Yeah.
do you know the actual difference between an offcut or even the sapwood? You know, the sapwood and the heartwood, the
Yeah.
BTUs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
the
mean, I know
BTUs.
you know the difference. Do you know the
Yeah.
actual difference of the
It
BTUs?
varies. A lot of people say BTUs per species, and you can take a particular wood. We'll just take, for instance, like red oak, which is like the most popular firewood there is. Oak, white oak or red oak, any oak families. And if you've got a tree that is growing by itself with not a lot of competition, your growth and a lot of moisture, your growth rings are going to be super thick, super wide.
Right.
If you go into highly competitive, slow growing, it's going to be super tight, as you guys know. The more tight the grain is, the more dense the wood is, the higher the BTUs. So it
They're
changes.
long.
And then there's limb wood. Some of that limb wood, it grows so slow, it's great BTUs. So
Right.
it varies, and it depends on what part of the country and how wet you are, dry you are. Like Craig has that pinyon pine out there. It's pine, but it has more BTUs than oak. Not live oak, but red oak and white oak. It's super dense wood. You pick it up and it's like, wow, it's pine.
Now, Chris, have you ever got to burn any locust?
Oh yeah, we got locust. We got honey locust and black locust. Excellent firewood.
Yeah, they don't get no better around here than locust.
That's
That's
good stuff. Yeah.
you set it aside for the coldest day of the year.
A lot of people do here too. I have a buddy that he has a wood yard that he does recycling. He does a lot of chipping, he sells biomass, and he saves all the locusts for himself.
So the harder
Well-
the wood, the longer it takes to burn.
Yeah, well, all wood, if you take a ton of pine or a ton of oak, you're going to get the same heat out of it. But you're going to have a pile twice as big as the pine because it's a big pile. So the fibers there's more airspace. It's more of an open cell, whereas your hardwoods are more of a closed cell. It's a tighter grain, so it's more dense wood. So you have more, what's the word I'm looking for? There's more energy in it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got more potential energy.
Yeah. So if you
Energy.
take like a 12-inch round of pine that's dry, say white pine, which is real light wood, that might only weigh, just for a number, just say might only weigh 6 pounds. You take a 12-inch round of oak that's totally dry, it might weigh 20 pounds. It's just more dense wood. So it's the weight that matters more than anything. That's why
Right.
in the eastern states and northern states, people are what I call wood snobs. They don't want pine because pine or aspen or any of the soft hardwoods like, aspen or say box elder, soft maple, stuff like that. They don't want it because you got to do the same amount of work to produce a cord of that or a cord of oak or a cord of hickory or a cord of dense wood. You get more heat out of it. So they want more bang for the buck, so to speak.
Yep.
So that's
Have you
why
ever tried
Gotcha.
beech?
Beech. Yeah, we got beech. Yeah.
It has zero value down here. There's no heat
Really?
in it.
Really?
I don't know
Well,
if
you must have a different beech. Our beech is real good. It's real similar.
Yeah,
It's a cross
ours is
between hard
too.
maple and oak.
Well,
Ours
what's
is more
not
like
dying?
poplar. It burns up, makes a lot of coals, and no heat.
It produces heat, and poplar's like 14 million BTUs per cord, whereas red oak is like 23. So it's got heat, but just a lot less. But if that's what you've got, like you go to the western states, like Colorado, they've got two kinds of wood, or even Alaska, two kinds of wood. They got poplar and they got spruce.
Yeah, if you're in
Yeah.
Alaska, you're gonna burn spruce.
Spruce.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
Or
what they've
coal.
got. You burn what
If
you
I was in
got.
Alaska,
Utah,
I'd try
it
to
burns
find
spruce.
coal.
Yeah. Burn what you've got. Because wood is big and heavy and bulky, and you can't really ship it too far. So you burn what you've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to cut aspen and poplar as what we referred to as a shoulder season wood.
Right.
We'd burn
Exactly.
it in the fall and the spring, and that was it.
Yep, and it's good kindling. It's good fire starter. It's good for like if you're not heating with it. Say you got a wood stove in your garage or your workshop, and you're out there working. It's no big deal. Every hour, throw a few pieces in.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted to have an all night burn, all nighters they call them, you want the locust, the hickory, Osage orange. You want the real dense wood, almond wood,
Pinyon pine.
pine. Yeah, that's good. It depends on where you are. Yeah, you burn what you got.
Well, when I'm burning firewood, if I want an all night fire log, I take one of them dirty crotch knots.
Exactly. You're exactly right. Dirty crotches burn hot.
Yep.
Yep.
We do have a
Burn
lot.
all night.
Eric,
When you open the door,
Eric,
in the
I thought you was
morning,
going to say you get one of
plants.
those logs. I thought you was going to say you get one of those sawdust logs that you buy from the store.
Chemical, I call it.
Probably the hardest wood we have down here is live oak.
Yeah, well, live oak actually produces more BTUs than any other wood in the United States. It's 36 million BTUs, and a lot of people claim it's Osage orange is the best, which it isn't. It's 32 million BTUs. Osage orange is 36, so it is better. We don't have it here, but unfortunately, you guys got the best wood, but don't heat with wood.
That's right. We don't have any coals to try to heat from. Oh man.
I always remember finding out that apple burned so hot.
Yeah,
You know, when I
apples
was a
really-
kid, Dad was like, "Yeah, apple burns hot." I'm like,
Andy,
"So why
ask
don't-"
Chris if he bought that wood miser.
All right, go ahead, Greg.
He had a buddy that he was wanting to buy a wood miser and a woodmaster like Mr. Nils got 4,000 in a bundle. Eric,
Oh. I don't know.
see what
All right. So there's a question. There's a question up there right now, or a statement.
Yep,
Florida
pecans
wastes a
very good.
lot of wood. Florida wastes a lot of wood in a dump state, especially around hurricane season.
Oh yeah.
We had the opportunity to cut some trees that were damaged by tornadoes a couple years ago. And once we started cutting into the logs, they were destroyed. The
Twisted
grain was
fibers, corn
torn.
fibers. And
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
yes.
it was absolutely ruined. The logs were just garbage.
we have
So
that
I
happen
imagine-
sometimes when loggers are cutting big trees, and if they drop it in a spot where there's like on a hill or another log, and it'll hit like this and bounce and snap, you can
Just
ruin a real good log if you don't drop it in a good spot.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
someone bring me a lightning struck white oak one time, and I pick and choose and he said get anything you can out of it, which it was we salvaged some of it, but it was all busted up in the inside. On the outside it looked fine, but on the inside it
Yeah.
was all destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a question for you, Chris.
Yeah.
I've always thought that any nutty wood or
Yep.
fruity wood
Exactly. Good
made
wood.
good firewood. You know,
Good wood,
walnut,
yep.
hickory, pecan, apple, peach. You know, just take your
Yep.
pick.
Anything that produces a fruit, which a nut is a fruit technically. They're all that's good
Right.
wood. Anything that produces food.
even I know people don't like to burn cherry, but cherry's a good hot wood if you got waste cherry.
It's an average wood. I love it because it smells great. It's one actually
yeah.
that's if I had to pick one wood that I could cut and sell all the time, it'd be cherry, because it's easy to cut, it's easy to split, it dries fast, it smells great, burns a little faster, so I sell more of it. So I like cherry.
Right.
We love cherry.
Yeah,
I like.
it's pretty wood.
I've cut. Now we wouldn't burn walnut, but we do. I've saved walnut slabs and stuff, and I really like burning walnut. It burns hot, it burns long, it leaves lots of good coals.
It's a mid-range wood. It's
Yeah.
it's like a 21 million BTU somewhere in there.
You got to realize we're burning wood at 20 degrees. We're not burning wood at minus 30.
Man, we do have that.
Yes.
We don't have that.
So,
We
John, what
understand
were you
that.
saying about apple? What were you saying about applewood, John?
That's what I was saying. It's
Oh yeah.
you know, a lot hotter than oak. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? People don't realize that it's hotter than oak. But I always remember thinking, well, why aren't we cutting apple? And they're like, well, because apple trees don't get 40 feet tall and
Right.
3 feet round, you know?
And
There's not a
if
lot of
you've
wood
got
there.
a source for getting apple trees from like an orchard, if there's a big orchard, there's one in southern Wisconsin. They got like 700 acres, and they have a contractor that cuts all their dead trees. They cut them all, they chunk them all up, and they sell them for smoking wood.
Yep,
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna,
a big deal.
I was gonna say I would think apple would be good smoking wood.
Very good, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys, we've
any of
reached.
your bacon manufacturers would probably buy all the apple you could get for apple cured bacon and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so we've reached the 1 hour, a little over past the 1 hour mark. We said this was going to be open mic as well. So if there's anybody interested in coming on with us and saying hello, answer a few questions, talk a little bit, drop a post right there, and we'll send you a link to pop on with us. Standard living, or maybe Boston.
Yeah, Chris.
Buffalo
Chris.
Mill Works.
Yeah, Chris.
Brad.
Another Chris.
Yeah, I got questions for both them guys.
Lots of Chris.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot of Chris's in here.
Sorry about that.
Don't be sorry. Everybody got
How about
quiet.
Chris?
I like the smell of
I don't
cherry
like the smell of cherry when it's burning.
What?
being sawn. What?
When I saw cherry,
Really?
just the handful of times I've milled it here, it attracted the bees big time.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sweetness.
So-
Yeah.
I think the hickory
cherry and hard cherry,
was the best in the
cherry
fireplace.
and hard maple. I love the smell of hard maple when we're sawing.
Our neighbor used to sell honey and bee nooks. Sell hives to people, and every time we saw it, the bees would come out and be all over the wood. They just love fresh sawn lumber.
Okay. Rick,
If it's
so
from
I
a
think-
living tree, it's probably because it's got some sap coming out the rafters.
There's got to be sugar in the sap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know I've cut down some white pine, some not white pine, white oak, and what's it called? Another kind of oak. We got three kinds. We got swamp white oak, regular white oak, bur oak.
Or-
And it was early in the spring, like about this time of year, there was some storm damage, and I cut it down along the highway, and there must have been a hornet's nest close by. It was hundreds of hornets because it was weeping from the butt that I cut. They were just all over that because it was like almost dripping. So it must have been something they liked.
So maybe while we're waiting, Chris, if I could ask you one thing, I did want to ask you was maybe the difference between some of the guys that do firewood that you sell dry season wood,
Yep.
and some guys don't touch that.
Right.
Can you kind
Yeah.
of go over that?
Yeah, well, the guys that sell wood where they're not touching it, where they're cutting trees, processing it right into a truck and delivering it, they're delivering bulk wood for the most part, and it's going to people that are smart. They buy their wood a year in advance, or they're buying it in the spring, but it's for next fall, and they're seasoning it. But my market's totally different. I have people that I'm selling to that are not knowledgeable, is the right word to use, of how it works. Because they think you just cut a tree and you burn it. It's got to dry, whether you got a kiln or whether you air dry it over time. And a lot of people think that they want to have wood for a fire tonight or tomorrow.
Nothing like putting wet oak in the fireplace and the water's running out both ends.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so
and then they
we're
wonder
starting
why
to get
it's smoking and not.
Why it's steaming.
Not getting any heat.
Yeah, I've delivered wood to people and they've had problems with wood not burning. And once they burn a fire, they'll send me a picture like, I can't believe it. It's burning so great. And there's no smoke. Why is there no smoke? Because it's dry. They don't realize all that you're burning off all that moisture.
Well, yeah. If people are paying attention to your trailer dumps in your videos,
You can hear it. Yeah.
you can hear it.
You guys know too. What you drop a board that's dry and a board that's not dry, you guys can hear the difference, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
That
Well,
higher
Feel
bass
it when you
sound.
pick it up.
yeah.
All right. So
Jesus, John, I can't keep up with this.
Chris with Standard Living says sure thing. Are you talking about coming on, Chris?
I can't.
Yeah, he'll
That's
be
not
good.
my
Yeah,
thing.
he'll be good.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time trying to keep up with these idiots.
Oh, geez.
Well, I mean, they're coming in here like by the droves and saying stupid crap, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
You will get
those.
banned, folks. You will get banned from here, so keep it up, and I'll just ban you. It doesn't matter to me.
There's
I'll
always
be
got
like
to be a
that.
turd in the punch bowl. You know what I say? Flush them.
Yeah. All right. So Chris said, "Yep, Rick."
Oh,
What's that?
Chris said yes. He wants to
He
be
will
on.
come on. All right. What do we got? John, can you post the link down there?
No. Because then everybody can come on.
Correct. Yes.
Balsam trees.
So Chris has got to somehow we've either got to contact him or he's got to contact us. Email.
You got
Facebook Messenger,
Chris's. You
phone
got
number.
Chris's contact information, Craig.
Yeah.
Can you
You wanna
text him
share
the
it?
link?
Or you want to?
So you want me to send it to you, John?
And that's fine. Or
Or you can just text the link to him.
Husqvarna.
you can, anybody wants to join, just go to my YouTube channel, send me an email. Click on the little thing that says you're not a robot, send me an email. I'll go check my email and I'll let you in here. I'll send you a link, let you in here. Or I guess I can open up Facebook. I got Facebook open up. Send me a message on Facebook Messenger.
Yes, they do.
Davidson's own
There's
Natural
no way
Jam
we
or
can
John
click on,
Davidson.
there's no way we can click on these messages and converse with them privately.
Nope. Not it through YouTube and not through YouTube's working on private message.
I hope they don't actually. It just means more work.
Well,
Got enough social media now, right?
I answer all
can-
my comments every day, so it's a lot of work. Yeah.
Same here. It's to be a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't mind it. I mean, I appreciate the comments, and I tell my people on YouTube, if you ask me a question that needs a 30-minute answer, you probably need to go watch one of my videos.
I refer them to videos occasionally. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't sit here and type 4 paragraphs. If you ask me a question and Matthew gets the same answer, yes, no, maybe, or
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, I need you to send me that through Messenger.
All right, hang tight,
We-
Craig.
Yep.
Good Lord,
Great.
John. Where's
Good.
all this coming from? John,
Sorry, Chris.
John.
I'm not seeing it. You must
I'm
be
trying to
banned.
delete them as fast as they're coming in.
All right, let them come in.
Good God.
we ain't afraid of a turd in the punch bowl. Let them in.
Well, one of them said Neil was cute.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if Neil's wood was soft or hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of wood jokes.
It's getting stupid though, really.
My brother and I, other channel, we're beaver trappers, so we get lots of beaver jokes too.
Oh, I bet.
And
Just wood. It's either wood or beaver.
They ain't nobody here that's not on YouTube.
There you
or
go.
Facebook.
That's the
They're all
sticker.
thick skinned. They can handle it, right, Chris?
Yeah.
This is the one. This is the one. I get another one. This is. I told mother I got to send a couple of them out to Chris, or Ken will get in a fight with Chris if I only send one of those.
Kenny put it right up on his refrigerator as soon as he got it. He's like, "Oh, that's a good one."
All right, Craig, did you get the text? Did you get the message?
Thank you.
Yeah, spruce or picky.
Send it to Chris.
He's got it. So, Chris, talk to us about the new wood yard.
Oh, I've been moving for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah, what 3 months out on videos behind?
I know, about
ahead?
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the only way I can have a video every day is I shoot in batches. A lot of days I'll shoot 2, 3, 4, 5 videos. I have a list of things I want to shoot, and if I get time, I'll shoot different types of videos or what I'm doing, and then break it into different parts. So I'm always ahead. So that way I can go on hunting trips and fishing trips and have a life. So I upload anywhere from 14, 15 to maybe 20 videos at a time every couple of weeks, and that way I just stay ahead. So it works pretty good. But the new wood yard is actually my fourth wood yard. My first one was at my business. I've been a professional photographer for 40 some years. I got 6 acres and a 6,000 square foot building where I have my business. And I started doing firewood there because it's a commercially zoned area. And my neighbor didn't like it. So I had a Karen in the neighborhood. And so he basically made a stink. And legally I could have stayed, but I just didn't want to have to hassle. And he had a bigger wallet than me and he slapped me in the face with it. So I kind of had to leave. So I still have my other business there, but then I moved to a place that's a big farm, a friend of mine, and he offered to let me stay there. And I was there for, 2.5, 3 years, something like that. And he wanted to do his own thing, start his own firewood business. So now I moved to a new place, and now I've got, it's a 40-acre farm, and I've leased 2 acres, and I've got a concrete slab that's, it's 100 foot across. It's an old slurry pit from a harvester manure pit, and it's 3 feet thick, 100 feet across. So it's just ideal for processing wood on. And I put a ramp up to it. And then I've got concrete all along the barn. I can stack or pile all my wood in big bins. So it's it's awesome. It's only 2 miles away from my other business. So I've been moving everything.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more of it.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool. Looks like a bunch of banned people, naughty people, huh?
Oh my God, I can't keep up.
Yeah, when they come in bunches. That's part of the reason why I lost my second channel. Is I didn't know this, but all the animal rights people went in groups, like thousands of them, and they went to all the different trapping channels and complained to YouTube, and they shut all of them down for animal abuse because they get that many complaints. They got to do something about it, even though it's a legal activity. But
There you go, Chris. When the neighbors piss you off, get into the wood chipping business.
no, I was going to start a rendering plant. That was my idea. Or a slaughterhouse, something.
Slaughterhouse. I love it.
A power plant. You can burn anything, right?
Yeah.
Direct power.
Take them to the train
Those called
station.
incinerators.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, those work.
Either that or like a dog park would have been good. Dogs barking all the time.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So did Chris get the link?
The link.
not if Craig's sending it.
Yeah, I sent it to him as soon as you sent me that, Rick.
He might have to exit. He might have to exit the program and then re-enter. That's my guess. You might have to leave everything and then just join back in. That's usually what I've had to do in the past.
Hopefully he's listening to this.
Some guy, we're not all related, are we? Just met for the first time.
Yes, we are related. We're all firewood people.
Yeah. Well, wood people. Yeah.
Woods guys, forestry.
When we were at Bunyan, the Woodland Mills people were super stoked on the customer base that was there, because it was, was all like-minded individuals. Not everyone had the same goals, but everyone had the same interests.
there's a lot of homesteading people involved in firewood and lumber and people that want to just be self-sustaining and they want to do their own thing. And the market
Right.
is ripe for you guys with your portable mills and your personal mills or just, small businesses.
I've
Yeah,
got
even like
That's
Russ
nice.
Willie, dude. So there's a lot of guys that are, I had several guys ask me
There's
about,
Chris.
firewood guys wanting to get into the milling business and
You know, Adam,
get
John.
different.
There he is. What's
You
up,
did.
Chris?
Somebody did.
How's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Sure, yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
there he
guys.
is. Oh, that baby face.
Come on in.
Welcome to the jungle.
And he takes the glasses off. Put them back on.
Am I muted?
No,
no.
you're good.
Okay.
No, Greg's
we hear
just
you.
talking.
All right. I made it.
How you doing,
How you
Chris?
doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
All right, brother.
Good.
We're doing all right.
Thanks for coming on.
Hey, Neil, where are you from?
South Mississippi,
Okay.
all the way as far as you can go till you get to the Gulf of America.
I knew it was south. I just
Below
wasn't
sea
sure
level.
which part.
Yeah, all the way down here, down south.
All right.
How's the YouTube world,
So
Chris?
you're from Georgia,
From Georgia, yes.
Chris?
Born and raised there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Southern Georgia?
Northeast,
Oh, okay.
between Augusta and Athens area.
Oh, you're
They're
not that
not that far from us.
Yeah.
Where you
Oh,
from?
Columbus, North Carolina.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, you're not hour and a half down the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe a little further.
I've been to Augusta buying equipment before.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. They have
I was
roads.
stationed in
They have
Augusta.
roads in North Carolina. They have
Oh,
roads in North Carolina? Really?
Ask
Well,
Neil about
and gas
Mississippi.
stations.
Highways in North Carolina.
Wow.
Johnny said they had one gas station where they was.
I
Eric.
know that's what they said. One gas station. Now they have roads.
hey, at least all our roads got asphalt in them. Oh,
I knew that was coming.
I had to go all the way to Virginia to find.
And
that
Neil was
road.
just laughing.
Chris, answer that for Ethan.
What's that?
Answer that for Ethan. Do you see that question?
Yeah, if I got my wrong glasses on.
How can Chris answer
Well,
that?
have mother. Is mother by you? Can she read for you?
Yeah. Huh.
Is it-
I don't know.
Where's Billy got?
I can't tell you. There's a lot of great mills out there.
What about you? Tell us about you then.
I have a Norwood mill. It's the LM30. It's actually a pretty nice mill. I had a LM29 several years ago, and it was kind of a spur of the minute. It was an older fella. He had it, and he had some medical issues, and he didn't really get to use it as much as he wanted to. And so I bought it at a good price. And I used to have a Timber King. Well, my dad had one. It's kind of passed down to us, but we used it, and it was such a pain in the butt because it's one of those manual crank, the hand crank, and great mill, but just slow and hard. You really couldn't produce any lumber on it. When I got that little Norwood, man, that thing was so lightweight and fast and easy to use. And I had it for quite a few years. And I ended up selling it because I moved away and doing other things. Then when I came back, the first thing popped in my mind was like, I need one of those things, another one of those, because it's a great little mill. It was easy to use. It was lightweight. But I didn't plan on doing it for a business. So that kind of kicked me in the butt.
You quit. You touched on the subject that the very first question that popped up as far as what is the very good for the very first meal or whatever. You really have to know what direction you want to go and how much wood you want to produce to kind of get an answer. And there's so many mills. You got the partial hydraulic like the Timber King. It's got the manual log dog, and the manual log stops, but everything else is hydraulic. Then you got a fully manual mill, and then you have a fully hydraulic mill. So that's
I think the biggest issue is most people think they're going to go into the lumber hobby as a hobby, and cut their own wood to build their own projects. And I guess a lot of people do, but it can turn into a business on you pretty quick. And
Oh yeah.
if you don't have the right mill to start with, you're going to sit here struggling on a little manual mill.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My only recommendation is hydraulic. After that is whatever you feel like you want. If it doesn't have hydraulics, you're going to work yourself to death.
I tell
That's it.
people, buy what you can afford. And buy
Nah,
as
that's
nice
not
as,
true. That's not true,
buy as nice
Matthew.
as you can afford
That's not true.
on your first meal, and go have fun with it. Don't intend on making a job or career out of it. Just go have fun with your hobby and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Do they
That's
hold their
the
value
point
pretty good?
there. If you're not having fun on your mill anymore, get a hydraulic mill.
Yeah, I mean, you
I
know,
started
we
out
don't
with
have
the
hydraulics.
I started
We
out
don't
with
work
the
for ourselves at that.
1600, and loading logs is much easier. And what got me was the horizontal, the swing arm on the log stops, and that wasn't a little knot or a log misplaced, and it hit. And even though I dealt with it, I cut a lot of lumber with it, and then moved up to the 2020, and this log stops. It's straight up and down. Everything's hydraulic, and of course, more power could cut a lot more wood, but I really like that 1600. I just grew out of it.
Yeah, I looked at the 1600s. They seem like a pretty good mill. Did yours have the hydraulic clamp that went up and down, or is just a?
The only everything was hydraulic except the log stops and the log dog. Now mine was an older mill and it was 16 feet long. The new ones, the 1620s, they cut 21 feet.
You still had the little lever though for your backstops, didn't you?
Right. Yeah, by the controls itself. You pulled them and
That makes it nice there though.
yeah, it does. But like I say, when they swing like that, if you have a limb or a little knot or something out of the ordinary, it hits it and you have power to it. So if you got a great ball, no problem.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Yeah,
two-
mine's all muscle power.
Talk to us a little bit about your new piece of a mill equipment, Chris.
The edger.
The blue one.
Yeah, the little Range Road hydraulic edger. That thing, man, I tell you what, if you guys don't have an edger, that's
I was going to ask you if that's
Craig, I know
changed your
you got one.
operation at all.
that's that thing is awesome, man. It's it's a game changer. It really is.
Get one soon.
It's kind of like Chris. It's almost like guys that don't have conveyors that do wood and don't have conveyors.
Yeah.
It's almost you know what I mean. Some
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
you know where do you decide what your next maybe priority is in your stage of your development, where you're at.
Yeah, it's like buying a really cool car with no engine in it. You know, you can sit in it and listen to the radio for a while, but you can't do anything with it. And you know, then you have that engine that's like, wow, this is what I was missing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much like that.
Yeah.
It's it definitely
That
is
or
a
a
game
beater, that or having a beater and having $10,000 tires and wheels on it.
That's it. Yeah, that little edger, this price good too. So it's man, I looked all over for those things, and we looked at some of the Cooks and the Wood Miser, and you know, it's kind of hard to make a decision on equipment sometimes when it's, you know, they're always big purchases, and you know, when you're coming out of pocket on things, and my biggest thing is I don't want to be in debt. I don't want to have to pay a bank. I don't want to. I forget what Bible verse that is about the you know, paying the debtor, the slave to the debtor. I'm just, you know, if I come up with the money and pay for it, I'd rather do it that way, you know. But it's that little edger. It's a great price. It's a heavyweight little thing. It surprised me. But man, we can zip all those slabs out, those flitches out now, and produce lumber with it. It's
Is yours the gas hydraulic version?
It is, yeah. It's got a 15 horsepower, what do they call it, a Rado engine. I don't know if it's a Chinese engine. I guess they all are Chinese engines today, but yeah, it's pretty tough little machine.
Nice. What about you, Rick? What questions you got? He's a Norwood guy.
Guess I don't really have any questions.
Where I'm running into needing an edger is getting into the molding side of things, finish work, and after you dry your wood, you need to run it through an edger. Right now, I'm getting by edging on the sawmills, twice the work putting wood on and stuff. And if you have a knot, you have a little. Sometimes you get that little wave by your band, and when you running through that 4-sided molder, of course you got a hard fence on one side and the guides on the other. A bit. I definitely need to get me an edger.
Yeah, they're great, man. They save you a lot of backache. I got so sick of running. I wasted so much wood. I couldn't stand looking at the slab pile there, and I'd see wood. I was like, man, that's a nice board right there, but I'm not throwing that on here to get a 1x6 out of it, or whatever. Just it's just a pain because they're never the same size. So you stack 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 boards on there, and one might be a little smaller, and all the rest of them have to be that size unless you do them one at a time. So yeah, it's just not feasible for any kind of production. But yeah, Edger definitely changes that big time.
How can anybody not enjoy stacking flitches? Come on.
I enjoy it now.
You have any firewood down there at your place at all, Chris? A market
we got all our hardwood slab stuff.
Like campwood or anything, maybe?
We don't sell any. We cut a lot of it. We run firewood all winter long. We don't even buy gas anymore for heaters. So, but most of our firewood comes from the sawmill cutting hardwood. So, and all the pine, we don't have anybody that'll buy pine for firewood. Not around here. There's the oaks and things like that are too plentiful. Hickory, and everybody's got it and everybody's selling it. So, we hadn't really found a market in trying to sell it. We may try, but it's kind of saturated.
So your market's mainly lumber?
Yeah, my biggest market is southern yellow pine. We don't do a whole lot of hardwood. We do some, but
you move a lot of it green, right? Am I correct about that?
Yeah, everything's green. Yeah.
Okay.
The most of the hardwood we do is like blocking, industrial type blocking, and trailer decking. So other than that, it's a black walnut here and there, but
that's me. I'm southern yellow pine, but like Mr. Chris Carlson mentioned earlier, that you got plentiful hardwoods. I mean, the barbecue places and stuff like that might be a market that you could look into for sure.
Yeah, possibly so.
But you can't do everything either. I mean,
Neil,
I barely have time to sawmill. Yeah.
Neil, definitely don't tell them about the steak market.
Hey, what y'all say earlier? Go watch my video. You'll figure it out.
Tomato steaks?
Yeah.
This
year, I cut 10,000 this February.
Where do you get rid of those things at? You have people like
I got a farmer. He bought all those. The farmer last year bought 20,000.
Yeah, I watched a video cutting those.
That's the tomato steak guy.
Yeah.
What's he doing with them?
Mine just said, "Is that the tomato steak guy?"
That's me.
Yeah. One of them.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's softwood. We're hardwood.
Yeah.
I guess Eric and Matthew, you guys are kind of all between the place, aren't you?
Yeah, we cut a little bit of everything.
Yeah. It seems like everybody up north does like more hardwoods, and everybody in the south does more softwoods.
The biggest part of our business is southern pine. We sell a tremendous amount of kiln dried 1x8s, 1x10s for board and batten. And then just like the ceiling in this room, we make a tremendous amount of tongue and groove, V-groove, nickel gap.
Yeah, you got that nice winding motor too. That thing's
yeah.
See, that's the market I'm trying to direct to, because everybody and their grandma has a sawmill down here now, and everybody's dimensional lumber. And now you got to just separate from the many and get with the few. And
that's it.
That's what I was going to tell Chris. He's got his sawmill. I like that Norwood, and you've upgraded to an edger. The next thing, but you're going to have to get you a kiln.
Yeah, I've got wood. Actually, I've got a lot of wood stacked in my greenhouse right now, trying that out. And everything seems to be doing really well except for the pecan. That stuff looks like pretzels.
Well, once you start kiln drying your wood, you go into a whole different market. Around here, there's very limited use for green lumber. Even my contractors, they like to buy 1x10s kiln dried. They're remodeling a house or repairing a barn, and they won't be able to paint it and stain it today and give the customer a bill tomorrow. And a kiln will pay for itself.
Yeah.
I haven't made
any southern guys cut sassafras.
I've got some stacked in my shed. I got
Is
it
that
from
a nice
another
looking
guy.
wood or no?
It's really soft wood. I got it from a guy in Louisiana that bought it from another sawmill. He just had a ton of it. He actually built some cabinets with it, and he had a bunch of it left over and gave it to me. And I threw some on a CNC router and played with it. It's really soft wood. But we don't have it.
That's the stuff that smells like root beer, right?
Yep.
So that's
Yeah, I guess it kind of does.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't search out exotics. I want what grows here that we can get every day.
Yeah.
Sassafras
I'm just
grows
curious
here,
if
but it's
anybody
hard
cut it.
it's hard to get here every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's
I've
it
cut
going,
a
Mr.
lot.
Floyd?
I've cut a lot of it, but the heart's always rotten. I've got
I've
one
I
in the yard
recognize
now.
that name, Neil.
Yeah, Mr. Floyd Brennan.
Okay.
He just moved up to Tennessee from Florida. He's got 2 or 3 Timber King sawmills, a few kilns, and does a lot of finish work and custom work in these in really big homes. And
Is he a customer of Mr. Robert?
yes, he knows Mr. Robert and Thomas.
Okay.
Thomas is who introduced me to him. Thomas did a video, went over there and went through all his stuff that he does, but very
Okay.
knowledgeable in the woodworking world. Very knowledgeable.
That's
Yeah.
why that name looked familiar.
I want to answer
I
Joe's
seen
question.
the one guy knew Rick, cunt him.
Well, go ahead,
What's that?
Eric. Go ahead,
The
Eric.
one guy you blocked knew your brother Rick, huh?
The
Well,
human
what'd he
toilet.
say?
No, the one that didn't vote for Trump. He knew who didn't
Yeah.
vote for Trump.
Oh, I don't know.
Or that I know that wasn't Chris.
John, can you delete that human toilet one? I can't get it. It's not
Yeah.
on our channel.
Why
I
you-
can't bin 'em.
While you're doing that, I'm
No,
going to answer
yes.
Joe's question. Yes and no. Yes, you can air dry your lumber to an acceptable limit that you can use to build a barn, some shelving, some different things. But if you're trying to sell a finished product, you want to make a table out of it, you want to build your kitchen cabinets, or you want to do some tongue and groove, V-groove, you will never get wood dry enough just air dried in the South. Maybe out in Utah, but not here in the South. The benefits of kiln drying is you get the heart of that wood down to a 6, 7, 8% moisture content. If that wood's going to fail, it'll fail while it's kiln drying. If it's going to crack, split, warp, whatever. And in the southern species, if you don't kiln dry it, you're introducing bugs into somebody's home. The dust mites in red oak, white oak, the vine beetles and different things in
Powder
pine.
post
And
beetle.
nobody wants that in their house.
And another thing that I'm learning very quick, you have to make sure in that southern yellow pine to reach that 160 and set the pitch because it will gum your equipment up like nobody's business.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah,
to
we were
use
talking
that.
earlier. You're talking about that. The one you had right there. I had some last week that was almost transparent. I literally had full 1x6s. You could almost see. You could see light through them. They were glowing like
Wow.
red. That red transparent color. I kind of had to throw them to the side. I was, I'll take those and use it for firewood. But they gummed the blade up so
New
bad. It didn't matter
transparent
how much
wood.
used on the blade. It gummed it up.
Wow.
Yes,
You
is
get
the answer.
southern,
All right,
you get southern yellow pine cut on the wrong time of the moon when the sap's up, and it is horrific.
There's one
I heard
for you,
somebody-
Chris C.
Yeah. There's a huge market. There's a guy north of me that sells to a local gas station chain, and he sells 500,000 bundles of firewood. It's all kiln dried. He does a semi-load every day, and he supplies to all over. He does about 2 million a year in sales. So yeah, there's a big market. Gas station wood.
Yeah. How about,
Right here, right here,
National Park.
there's a law. If you transport firewood farther than 50 miles, here it has to be kiln dried.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 different levels though. There's kiln dried to kill the bugs, and that's heated to 160 degrees for like 30 minutes or something. That'll kill all the bugs. Then you can legally transport it, and you can sell it in stores inside, which is what you have to be able to do to sell to the big retailers like the Menards or the Home Depots, things
Yep.
like that.
Aren't most of the federal parks now required to? You can't bring firewood in unless it's
Yeah,
store bought
they're-
dried stuff.
Yeah, you have to have
they're trying to make people take. You can take either dimensional kiln dried lumber into the national parks, or it's got to be bought within 50 miles, or it's got to be certified with the
Correct.
label on it and all that. But people go around
Correct.
it. People are going to break the rules. And the other thing is, I found out, you guys might understand this too, that the bugs do not know where the lines are drawn for the states. So
Correct.
No,
they
don't care.
They don't care. They're not going to stop it. It's the government trying to stop something that they can't. But
Yeah,
they
so-
justify their job, so they make rules.
I'm in Illinois right now. I'm a half mile from the Indiana state line, and I sell campfire wood.
Yeah.
To the people in Indiana, right, who are right on the line.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, we can't buy it across the state line, and bring it over here to the, state park and burn it." So I went and talked to the guys over at the state park, and I said, "Look," I said, I cut this wood in your state park. I hauled it 1/2 mile across the state line, and now I can't sell it back to you, to burn in your park. I said, that doesn't make sense, number one. Number two, anything I cut within 10 miles of your park has the same bug that you have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not transporting this stuff across the country and trying to sell it. I'd have to sell it for $400 a cord.
Permit.
Yeah, it's right. That's what they want. Control that and control. Yeah, and the loggers that are logging, they wood travels around the world. You're not going to stop it. That's how the emerald ash board got here from supposedly from China.
Yeah.
So
I wish you guys kept it over in
Bunyan,
Wisconsin.
Chris.
What's that?
I said, I hope I didn't take anything to Bunyan.
It was pretty
I had some freaking trail marks in some of that Ponderosa.
Craig, you had bugs when you left your state?
Yeah, you did.
Craig's
He
hauling
brought them all
bugs
the way over to
country.
Ohio.
Yeah, I wanted to stop at John's and drop some off at John's, but he told me to keep on driving.
I think they're just trying to justify their jobs for one, and they're trying to make it look like they're trying to do something, but bugs don't read, bugs don't know the boundaries. I might be.
That's just like deer crossing signs. They don't read the signs. Come on.
Well, those deer cross somewhere else. They move the sign down the road,
Yeah. Anybody want to take that with the spalted lumber?
What about Rick? Rick has spalted lumber.
Which
don't he?
one?
Spalted lumber.
The one that's up there.
Yeah,
What's
we
your
have a lot of
experience
experience with. We have a lot of experience with spalted lumber. What do you want to know?
Does Craig the spalted lumber sheriff have to grade it before it enters the crafter's box?
Negative. Negative.
All right.
It might be bug free, but it's not mushroom free.
Okay. Is he still lingering from that plate of mushrooms, Tim?
Yes.
Okay. Enough said.
Yes. The answer to that.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm trying to use the mushroom spore to get the spalting. A guy has brought me a bunch of bags of mushroom spores, and you spread it on the wood while it's wet,
Right.
and then it'll go in and spalt the wood. But I haven't,
Right.
no success yet. I've just done it on 2 dry days, I think. 2 dry.
I know you talked about
months.
I know you talked about that a long time ago.
Yep. No
I'm
success.
going to try to create it.
I think the way we get ours, we just throw the log up on top of the hill and forget about it for about a year.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah. Usually when I like on a magnolia, that's a really pretty spalt in them. As soon as you see that bark slipping off that log, laying in the log pile, that's when I like to cut it. And I've seen poplar also with a lot of spalt. You got to be careful with poplar though. That and sycamore, because they tend to rot very
fast. Birch,
right?
Too.
And then my magnolia, I like about a good time for me is watching when that bark dries and curls and starts coming off. That's usually a sign that it's ready to be cut if you want the spalt in it.
Yeah,
and
birch
to me,
spalts are obviously.
you cut magnolia fresh, it's not a very interesting wood, really. But you start getting that spalt, and right before it starts to spalt, it starts to get a lot of color in it, and then you can let it go a little longer, and it's just really pretty stuff.
Now, let me tell you something we've learned. You guys may want to try. You know what spalting is an ambrosia in a maple. The ambrosia is called by the ambrosia beetle, and you get those long black stains.
Correct.
You can take a stack of poplar logs and intermix your older maple with your poplar for 2 or 3 months, and your poplar logs will have ambrosia stains in them.
Huh.
Really?
Interesting.
It add value to your poplar. It's beautiful.
It's definitely a unique color in them.
In log form or in lumber form?
In lumber. Well, you do it in the log. Just stack them over in a pile and intermix your maple that's spalting with it. And when you go to saw that poplar, it'll have ambrosia stains in it from the beetle. They like the poplar, but I think they come out of the maple log.
Right.
So if you want to get them in your poplar, you have to kind of mix it in the pile.
Yeah, we found that out by accident.
And that southern yellow pine, you cut it and you can wait a while and you'll start getting bugs on the outside. The bark falls off and you'll get a lot of bluing in it instead of the spalt.
Yeah.
A lot of blue
Right.
on that pine log sitting on the ground.
The secret of the southern yellow
found-
pine is chickens.
Chickens. Oh, keep the beetles.
Keep chickens around your pine; it'll eat all the bugs. They'll rip the bark off of it.
Other thing I found with pine to make your pine last longer is keep it moist.
Right.
Put it in the shady part of your yard.
Yeah.
Keep it damp. Don't let it dry out. When it dries out, the pine
Let's
beetles
go wide
have a
open.
field day.
Then you got free fishing
We-
bait.
Yeah, we found by dropping a soft maple log on the ground and leaving it for a year or so, as soon as the mushrooms start growing on it, it's pretty much ready to go for spalting.
Yep.
And when we cut
Keith.
logs that are spalted, we have customers waiting in line for spalted maple and spalted birch.
Yep.
So we
bolts
just
and
call
whatever
the
else
next
we can
person in line, and they come out and get it.
I got some really tight grain, slow growth pine, 20-inch logs. I'm waiting on them to get some bluing in them. I want to try to run a batch of flooring with it. And I think that'd be really pretty.
That'd be an interesting floor. It looks great on a wall.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll never stop being sticky. Certain day. I have a buddy of mine. This has been several years ago. Well, probably 20 years ago. He inherited some land from his grandparents, and they had. there was trees and bushes growing up in one of the fields. It used to be a cow field, and they found an old barn back there. It'd been there for, forever, 100 years, whatever. But there was some old heart pine in there that was probably 100 years old. Who knows? But it was the entire barn. It was full of it. So when he built his house, he just decided to use that pine for walls, flooring, stairs, everything. And it was dry. It's super dry. But on certain days, certain humid days, you can walk through that house and you step on a knot and it'd almost take your shoe off.
That's where that kiln comes in. That's where that kiln comes in. That's the pit. That's where.
It's like glue.
You got to kiln dry that pine or you'll regret it.
Yeah, that's how you set the pitch. It ain't gonna reach the heat treatment just outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it reaches 160 in your house, you got other problems.
Yeah.
Broke down here.
I had a buddy texting me, Eric, saying he was watching. He's a buddy of mine that lives down in southern Utah. I used to sharpen bands for him when he ran a 40. But he's remember I was telling you about when Woodmeister sold the 5 electric mills and 2 of them are my buddies. This is the other guy.
Okay.
I told him we'll freaking get a comment or get a question for Mr. Eric in that new mill. He said he had his was dialed in right from the factory. He says they didn't have to do anything but plug it in.
You got lucky.
You got lucky, huh?
Most of those mills are 3-phase, aren't they?
Yes.
The electric,
Yeah, all the electric
Yeah,
ones are
I guess it's
3-phase.
going to be 3-phase. Yeah.
I tell anybody if you've got the power, a 3-phase mill is the way to go.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, you can't afford to get it, then yeah, diesel's great. But once you get away from air filters, oil filters, fuel filters, oil changes, trips to the store to buy diesel, it's so much easier. You turn it on, you go to work. You get done, you clean it up, turn it off, and go to the house.
Do you have 3-phase at your place, or are you using a phase converter?
We've got 3-phase. We got a transformer sitting right outside that window.
I saw
That's
the
about
green
the
box
size
up
of the
there, yeah.
Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I can only take my mail to my yard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the only bummer is I can only take my mail to my yard.
Yeah, we don't have 3-phase in our area, so it's like, yeah, we'd have to run an extension cord about.
Well,
30
you'd have to do a
miles.
phase converter.
3 extension cords.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
We were very fortunate. There's a huge substation about a half mile up the road that our local utility buys their power from Duke Energy, and it comes through that substation. And there's 3 or 4 main legs on my road. And if you go the next road over, there's 3 or 4 main legs on that road that's feeding this community as well as the southern communities from here. So it was available. It's right there on the highway.
You got lucky. I've heard some guys say, they had 3-phase, less than 100 yards from the house, and they wanted to charge them $80,000 to put it in. So, to reach their place. It's like, man, I've heard nightmares about that. So
if you're getting 3-phase, you got to remember the power company's got to make money, and it just giving you 3-phase so you can run a little lathe down in your building is not going to pay them back. But when you buy a big winding motor, and I've got my own transformer, I run all my single phase off of my 3-phase, and the kiln, they're getting their payback by sending me that big power bill every month.
Yeah.
Robert Westfall was telling me he went to a big sawmill closed down up in Arkansas. It was a huge, gigantic sale, everything 3-phase. He said there was piles and piles of electric motors and everything else that was very, very cheap that they getting just everything 3-phase.
There he is right there, Eric.
Yep.
And once you go 3-phase, it opens up a lot of doors for equipment that people just can't use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought several Powermatics table saws that were 3-phase. And you find them cheap, $500 for a super nice machine, and which you can use it on a converter, but most people don't. I don't know, have the knowledge of electricity or hooking up a converter.
The Woodmaster 4000, that 4-sided motor I got it in single phase, but they do offer that machine in 3-phase also, so you can get either one.
Yeah.
Well, having 3-phase is great. We bought a time saver 37-inch belt sander, very reasonable, because it's 3-phase, and we're going to add that to our business as soon as we get our building extension done.
I saw the extension you got for your mill.
Yeah, it's waiting on concrete.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something that's done went up in price.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that hurts feelings.
Well, I guess we're lucky to get 120 here.
Yeah, y'all are way out in the sticks.
Half the time I got to run the generator to just be
Exactly.
I
I was just going to say generator.
So Rick, do we want to let Chris frickin' skin out of here and let him get back to his place, or what are we doing?
No, Chris can leave if he needs to.
He's going back to the camp, crack a cigarette.
Yes, I was wondering if he was. Are you close to camp where you can drive right back, Chris, or you've come home to mother?
Chops.
I came home to mother. That's
Okay,
that's an hour and a
very
half
good.
away.
Yeah, I need him to stick around until the end then.
Yeah,
We appreciate
I'm
you
not
coming,
going.
Chris.
Very good.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, there was a few guys I did meet at Bunyan that and Chris and Russ were a couple of them. There's a couple more guys that there was just so much activity and so many questions from other guys that you'd never, there was a lot of good people with a lot of good information, and
Yeah,
I like to share it with everybody else.
Oh, I got a new processor. I got a new Blockbuster B18. They're doing some upgrades to it. It's a brand new machine, and my new operations on bigger property, and I got a great big concrete slab to work on now, so it's going to be pretty awesome. A lot of new stuff's coming.
Now, are you going to be in Boonville this year?
Maybe.
Okay.
It depends if Blockbuster wants me to go. The companies, Blockbuster and Husqvarna now, are sending me to shows, and if they say, here's a ticket, here's a car rental, here's a room, I go.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, and it's fun.
So, Chris, have you ever considered buying a sawmill?
Yes, I would like to, because there's stuff I would like to build, but I just don't know where I'd find the time, because like I said, I'm self-employed, so I got a photography business I've had for 40 some years. It was full time, and then I started doing firewood, and that's full time, and now I do YouTube, and that's more than full time. I'm just at the age now where I'm enjoying what I do, but I don't need it anymore.
You're about like me. People say, "What do you do?" You say, "Not sleep."
Yeah. Well, people always ask me, "Oh, you were so lucky to be self-employed." I said, "It's great because I only have to work half days. I get to pick which 12 hours. I never have to ask for a day off because there aren't any."
That's right. It's easier to clock in than just go to work and come home, man.
And they say, "Oh, you get to go to the bank and deposit money." No, I go to the bank and ask for more money.
So
It's a good problem.
Now-
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
have you ever thought about like selecting a few of those logs and taking them to the sawmill, the local? There's gotta be somebody
We've
local.
done some. We've got,
You
my
know?
brother's got a guy that does some sawing. We'll pull some good stuff out once in a while for cutting. He's got some stuff made.
That
Right.
reminds me, John. Thank you for bringing that up. I wanted you to tell who's your one buddy that always is saying the crooked cutting steel.
Tony.
No, the other one he's got the channel in your yard as well.
The other one,
that's
Chris.
yeah, I know. Yeah, okay, Bert. Yeah,
Bert.
yeah.
You tell Bert I need him to have some nicer words about steel, or I'm going to start talking about his meal.
I got a buddy named Tony, and he got a hold of me a few years ago, and he has all still equipment. He says, "Hey, I've got some still stuff. If you want to make videos," I said, "I'd love to." I said, "I don't care what brand it is, as long as it's sharp and running." So we did a bunch of videos. Well, one time Tony had a chain that was only sharp on one side, and it cut real crooked, like a moon, I said, "Oh, look at that crooked cut." I said, "I've never seen that before." And it was his saw. I said, "That must be a specialty of that steel, huh?" So we constantly razz each other. Could care less. So anytime it's a crooked cut, it must be a steel cut.
That's so
Now,
funny.
Chris, you might consider looking for a veneer buyer too if you get some really nice logs.
Well, it can happen occasionally. I've got a few loggers I work with, but if you sell firewood, the loggers aren't dumb. Their number one thing they're looking for is veneer logs. Their second thing they're looking for is the grade A lumber logs. Then they're looking for the quality lumber logs. Then it goes to the bolts. And after that, then it's pallet wood. And then after that, it's firewood. After that, it's
Right.
bolts. So I'm near the bottom.
Who buys veneer wood anyway? I hear people say that term all the time. Well, it's veneer wood there, but
oh, it's big money. I've seen some of the veneer.
It is big money.
It's big money.
Big money. Yeah, you can. There's a lot. If you got a really good veneer, clear, it's a 16 footer and it's say 25, 30 inches, and it's even all the way. There's no knots, nothing, and
Straight.
it could be easily $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 log.
I get some black walnuts that are just
Yeah.
absolutely perfect. And
That's the big money
I
stuff.
think about that. I'm like, well, if we had a buyer for veneer wood around here,
And that's the other
Where do you
thing
find
people ask me. People ask me the same thing too about why don't you cut some of that stuff into lumber? Well, then I have to develop a market. I got to find the people. I got to do the work. I got to do the marketing. And I've got 300 customers that call me all the time for firewood, and they're just on repeat. So
Like my contractor buddy told me the other day, I was just picking his brain on what to do here, just throwing ideas. He said, you need to focus on one thing that can go with it and be the best at it.
don't go to the next shiny object. Yeah, you got to focus. Yeah,
Do it
absolutely.
work.
Don't get distracted.
Stay in your lane.
Squirrel. That's
Stay in
you
your
gotta,
lane.
That's my everyday life.
yeah. Yeah, my wife keeps me pretty much focused. I'll be talking about a new idea, and she says, "Don't you just take care of what you have first."
They ain't got all the time in the world for that.
I
Don't
get
you
guys
just-
in
don't you
here
just
that
hate-
look at my white oak pile and they say, "Why don't you sell that? It's worth more money." I said, "If I sell that log, then I don't have nothing to cut and sell to my customers, and my customers are more important than selling that log.
Yeah.
I'll make less on it, sawing it for my customers, but I need the inventory to keep my customers."
Right. People ask me all the time too, how do you get started with firewood? Get a chainsaw, get a splitter, start cutting, because it's not something when you start out you're gonna have a kiln and sell wood to product, product to sell overnight.
Yep.
You got to start 6 months in advance, but once you get the ball rolling, you're constantly getting more in and getting ready for the next year and selling stuff.
Robert
Market.
Westfall told me last year, guys, we just sitting there shooting a bull one evening, and he said, "Son, just know you cannot sell something you do not have."
Yep.
Mhm.
And don't get high on your own supply is another one. There's a lot of
right.
guys that they take the good stuff for themselves, and that's not a good thing. You got to raise the price on the good stuff and find someone that'll pay it, because they will.
Yeah,
Right.
we spent all winter cutting inventory for our spring sales
Yep.
to be ready when the weather clears and people want to go out and build stuff, because there's a short window there
Yep.
that they're going to buy it from somebody. If you've got it available, they'll buy it from you. And your firewood's the same thing.
Same
You
thing.
cut all year, and as soon as the leaves fall, oh man, I need some firewood.
Yep.
Well, you
As soon as you
plan
get
ahead for 'em.
As soon as you get some frosty roofs, the phone starts ringing. Then it's just go time. September, October, November, December, it's wide open.
My buddy down the street sells firewood. He had 50 totes lined up and hadn't sold nothing. And we had a couple 10-degree nights, and he sold out in 2 days.
Yep. Yep.
Cold weather wakes him up.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Eric, do you do more custom lumber, custom cutting, or do you do stock lumber and sell what you have on hand?
Probably 50-50.
Really?
Yeah, we take custom jobs where we take the log, cut the log, kiln dry it, and then turn it into something to send back home, as well as we cut our own inventory to sell as, if you catch it before I kiln dried, I'll sell it to you green, or most of it's kiln dried. And if a customer calls, says, "I want 1,000 feet of TNGV groove," we'll pull it out of inventory, edge it, and run it.
We always had a problem of anytime I cut and stocked any kind of lumber size, everybody that wanted lumber wanted something else. So
If you're selling green lumber, you're going to fight that forever.
Yeah,
now, if you
that's all we
selling,
do is custom now. So,
well, I don't sell 2x4s. You call me up and say I want 42 befores, I'll tell you go to Lowe's.
yeah.
Okay. We're selling what Lowe's don't offer: 1x6s, 1x8s, 1x10. We're selling
Chris,
hardwood species, maple.
What I've learned with the dimensional lumber, what always did best for me is advertising in bundles. I mean, you air stack it 50 in a bundle, and that's when I had the most calls doing dimensional lumber instead of, "Hey, I sell this." But if you advertise the bundle itself, everybody's like, "Well, how much per bundle? I need 1 or 2 bundles," and do it that way. That's how I've had it work best for me.
And we can't.
Our best sellers usually one buys.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd have a hard time selling 2x4s. I wouldn't sell 2x4s anyway, but 2x6s, 2x8s, 2x10s, because they can't use them in a residential structure legally.
Right.
And most people around here that are building barns, they're building a barn that's nicer than any house we live in. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're building $1 million barns. So they're not using rough cut lumber to build an Amish barn.
Yeah.
I don't worry about the green market. If somebody calls me and they want it green, I'm like, okay, I'll put you on the list. It'll be a week or 2. We'll get it out. But I've got it in kiln dried today if you want to come pick it up.
We sell a lot of green board and batten.
Yep.
And, people just like put on and go, but I guess that's why it's designed like it is. But I guess kiln dry will be.
You'll get a lot more contractor business if you had it kiln dried, because your local guy that's doing a remodel could come and buy 20 boards, put them up on the house, and as soon as he's done, he can paint and stain and get
Mhm.
paid quickly instead of
Yeah.
having to wait 2 or 3 months to finish that project before he can get paid.
It's exactly the same with firewood. They want to fire today or tomorrow, not later.
Yeah.
A
Right.
lot of times they want it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, Chris, you get you a kiln, it's a game changer, brother. You can start
Oh,
taking
gotta get rid of that edger now.
you start
gonna need
taking some of that ugly wood that's banana shaped,
Yeah.
start cutting some weird slabs out of it. So I'm gonna kiln dry that and just put it up on marketplace.
It's in the future.
Well, you gotta have a
Hey-
plan, and that's
Hey,
you know,
Chris,
where-
Chris,
you
have
headed?
you ever had a customer request axe split wood instead of something that's been through a processor?
No, I've never heard that. I used to do that when I was younger.
Yeah. I'm not very far from Park City and maybe Sundance, where they're some high dollar places. I got contacted and they say, hey, can you split us some stuff that's pretty? And I'm like, what do you mean by pretty? They're like, well, the wood looks like it's torn in half, literally. I was like, well, and I knew the difference between, because I split with them all for 30 years before I even touched a splitter. So I knew exactly what they were talking about.
Yeah.
So it was.
I would answer yes to that. But
I
it'd
did.
be about $1,000 a stick.
Yes. Well,
Fair
what's funny is it was a super good job. And the gal that was asking me about, she referred me to Deer Valley, where I was there for one winter when they had 12 feet of snow on 3 roofs. I was there for 3 months shoveling snow at $170 an hour.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've had people want decorator wood that also.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, they're not going to burn it. It's for sitting on the mantle of the fireplace. All that is for show. And they want birch, certain size, certain length, maybe split, maybe not. Maybe they want something that's different, or a mixture of some different colors. Like their scheme might be they got maroon in their room. They want cherry because it's got that color to it, that kind of thing. And yeah, I charge for it.
So the picture I sent you a picture by Firewood Pile. I told you I had a guy here cutting wood for a couple weeks, and people love it here because it's cut on both sides, stacks easy, and it's pretty.
Yeah, pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, that guy was
mowing burns right now.
That guy I told you about, that's Frank's. He's in Pestrigo, which is north of Green Bay. He sells all of his wood down in Chicago, and he sells mostly birch. And birch is not, it's an okay firewood, but it's because of how it looks. It's that white.
It's pretty.
It's pretty.
Birch is pretty.
And he said the yuppies like the birch.
Looks like
Yellow birch is pretty too when you open it up.
Remember the Christmas card you got for your grandma that had the birch firewood by the fireplace? Yeah.
Yep.
It looks like Craig's keeping track of you.
Yeah, he's on to there.
Craig stalking you.
Those guys are characters.
That's the guys we were at the camp with last night. I'm sure they're sitting by the fire drinking heavily right now.
Thanks for that guy's question. Big shout out to Anaconda. We had a blast at Woodmiser Friday. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Anytime you can get out and meet people like us, like-minded, you don't have a problem talking for all day.
No, we showed up at about 8:30. We left at 3:30. I don't think we quit talking the entire time we were there.
Yeah.
Now, Craig, you said something about the split wood earlier. We've actually had requests for split or like axe split cedar fence boards. I knew what they were talking about, but I was just
split rail fence.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, rail fence.
Yeah,
you can't afford. You can't afford it if I did it.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of work.
I used to think some of that because I grew up, in a family where we didn't have a lot of money, but I am learning as I get older, finally getting smart. There are people that will pay for stuff, and money is not an issue.
I had a customer this week ask me if I could cut Carolina siding for them to put up a split rail fence. I'm like, what? Do you want? I'm like, first of all, no, I'm busy. And it's not going to look the way I think you're wanting it to look. Right. They were going to buy a post with the 3 holes in it and put Carolina siding boards in it. That's kind of a split rail fence. I'm like, it's not going to look the way you think it's going to look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, years years ago they used to use flitches for pig pens. They called it pig siding.
Yeah.
Now they call it, what do they call it, Andy? Flitches that you put on the side of a building. They call it Adirondack siding.
Yeah, we call it Carolina.
Oh,
siding
yeah.
here.
We used to call it pig
I'm
siding
one of
years
those
ago.
guys. I'm one of those guys that lives in the Adirondacks and hates Adirondack siding.
I'll second that.
It just don't look good.
No, it don't.
No,
Oh, it's awful.
Now there's
And the
there's
colors
some
even
neighborhoods.
worse.
There's some neighborhoods up in North Georgia, North Carolina, probably up near Eric y'all's way. There I saw some neighborhoods up there that had just every single house was like the live edge siding.
Yep.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
bet those guys were paying a ton of money for those houses. They were on a lake, but
I do a good bit of it. I've got some a couple camps that all their outdoor buildings are that way, and they'll call and order a couple hundred boards, once, twice a year. I don't mind
Yeah.
making it for them, but I'm not putting it on my house.
I'm curious if those houses are actually, is that real wood or is that some cut? Because they all look like cookie cutter houses, they're all the similar, just different colors. I wonder if they're using some kind of faux wood or somebody's making a lot of money with slab wood.
Yeah.
Is the live edge with bark or without?
I don't think it has bark. It's just the wavy bottom.
Yeah, that's just a wavy bottom.
I would think that would require more maintenance, wouldn't it? That kind of stuff.
I would think so.
I would think.
They're all painted houses. They're like bright colors, like bright blues and greens, pastels.
Yeah.
It looks like Charleston in the mountains with live edge houses.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of wood.
Mind cutting it. I'll take some of the ugliest logs I got out there, that are big enough with all the knots, and lay that thing up there to where when you saw through it, you're getting all that variation of them knots. I mean, it's pretty. I like to look at it. I just wouldn't put it on my house.
I wonder what kind of wood it is to be able to be painted and last. I mean,
It's
I
fine.
wonder if it's even wood.
But
It
if
may be
it's-
some kind of
you know what I
synthetic.
mean? From my understanding and from me, you southern yellow pine, if it's not treated and you paint it, latex paint or something will rot it because it holds the moisture in it.
Well, you don't use
Yeah.
latex on it. Most
Use
times
stain.
it's a stain around here.
A stain, I guess that'd work better. That way it could breathe.
I'm
I guess.
almost wondering if it's like a synthetic plastic or some kind of vinyl siding or something. Who knows?
Yeah,
Paint
it might be.
definitely rot untreated
It
wood.
could be. They make fake Carolina siding now.
What do you
Yeah,
call
we
it?
got,
Carolina
we got a
siding?
hardy board. We
They
got a
make
hardy
fake
board
board back.
board out here.
Yeah, they make a lot of artificial stuff.
Yeah, I have 1x12 batten board cypress. That's what I did my house with.
There you go. Just show off.
I had I had access to it.
There you
We use a
go.
lot of poplar too for siding. If somebody asked me for 1x12s on board and batten, I always ask them if poplar is an option because we have so many big poplar trees and it's so clear and clean. And
Yep.
then you get a pine, it's hard to get a lot of 1x12s out of it.
I need me a load of poplar.
Yeah, you
Come
come
get
get
it.
all your-
I got 2 or 3. I got at least tractor trailer load sitting here. Come on, load
Oh,
up.
man,
One man's junk's another man's treasure.
I'm going
we'll
to
trade you for some cypress.
I'm going to tongue and groove poplar for my ceiling in my house. That's what I'm going to put in my ceilings.
You
I've
love
been
it.
doing that, Mr. Neal.
What's that?
I've been eating up some of my poplar pile.
Yeah, so I want. It's unique, There's adds a lot of color, a lot of character, and they ain't very.
Is your stuff out there a lighter shade?
I gotta buy my poplar. I don't have. Every now and then you'll find a couple poplar trees, but I don't have any. The stuff that I've gotten from Thomas and
Drive
Tennessee.
up here and I'll give you enough to do your house for free. I got that much land on my yard.
Yeah. Every now and then you'll see them. You'll see a tree every now and then, but there's not big stands of it. When I went up there to visit
Right.
Thomas, you're riding around, not from here going up there. You just ride around in these giant poplars. But they're like pine trees down here. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
We
There's a
use
question
them
for you, Neil.
Was that?
If they can get past Mason.
I've had people come by and meet and see the operation. I have.
we use poplar around here as water detectors. If there's a
Right.
poplar tree growing there,
It's
It's
wet.
in water.
Yeah.
If you need a well, that's probably a good place to put it.
That's right. That's the same thing as bay
Yeah.
trees. You see them bay trees, there's water.
Yep.
Yeah, willow
Eric,
trees here.
have you
If see a
guys smelled any
willow tree-
sycamore?
I have.
We don't get it here. I've sawed some a customer brought me, but I couldn't even. I've seen so little of it, I couldn't even identify it was standing here in front of me.
Sycamore tree?
Yeah.
You have
Yes.
it down there, Neil?
Oh yeah, there's sycamores down here. It's easy to identify. The bark's peeling off and big old sheets is white. It's a very pretty tree.
Big old sheets.
I understand it's difficult to dry.
It
They,
is.
the rule of thumb that I've only cut a little bit on the slabs and things like that, but everything that I've looked into, the quarter saw on sycamore is the way to go. Quarter saw on,
Yes.
and I've heard it
Yep.
called American lace wood because you look at it, it looks like lace once you quarter saw it. It's really cool. Almost looks like a snake skin or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you want to see wood move, cut sycamore through a knot. It'll move 2 or 3 inches just on that knot.
Right.
Yep. I like making mantles and stuff with it because you can get that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's very easy to do that with.
Yeah, I see this question. Somebody says, has anybody used pine bark waste cans for siding for a log cabin look? Yeah, if you want bugs in your house.
Yeah.
They call that out around that siding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a customer call me a while back wanting me to cut that for him. You know, a little like 2.5, 3 inch thick by 6 inch talls with a half round on it. And I'm like, dude, I cut lumber. I ain't got time to cut that kind of specialty mess.
No, it takes forever.
Yeah.
It takes forever to keep it straight.
Didn't you guys have what they call a river birch?
Oh yeah, they're thick at my place.
Right, yeah, they're everywhere on the in bottoms around here, around creeks and rivers. I've been wanting to cut some. I don't know if it's really a tree worth cutting or spending time with. Seems like it'd be kind of wet.
It looked good on a wall inside.
Yeah. It's
I've been
similar to
waiting.
yellow birch. Yellow birch has got a little thicker bark. It's not as flaky, and
think this
it's
stuff
got a
is
cool
much
grain on
more-
the inside. It's pretty wood on the inside. Yellow birch is.
Beautiful figure.
Oh, yeah,
Yellow,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, we sell a lot of yellow
Love
birch.
cutting yellow birch.
Yeah,
I've never
we
seen
don't have birch. We don't have birch here. We got beech.
And then the bark makes good lighter starters.
It's got built-in oil.
We have the little small beech trees here. They're hard as a rock, though.
Yeah.
So, Chris, are you? How far away are you from Tony? Are you guys in the same state?
Yeah, he's 40 minutes away. If that.
Okay. I was wondering if you
Chris-
were within an hour or so.
Yeah.
I thought you was.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Chris, does your beech trees get in the fungus over there in Wisconsin?
Yeah. Right now they've got some type of a fungus they're getting, and they're starting to die off. Yeah. The loggers are starting to cut them. Yeah, it's a slow death from what I can see. It's kind of similar to the oak wilt that we get in the black oaks and the red oaks.
Right.
It spreads from roots or open sores in the trees, and yeah, it's between the emerald ash borer, the Dutch elm disease, obviously back in the 70s. That's what I grew up splitting with them all. I call it Satan wood. To get split. That, and we've got pine beetles that are killing off the black spruce.
Yep.
We've got those. We've got a lot of different diseases getting trees, but when they die, another one grows, a different kind grows.
Yeah.
You're not going to stop it. It's the most replenishable resource there is.
Yeah, we used to have a lot of beech up on our property, but every winter it seems like we lose more and more to the fungus, and the storms.
Yeah.
They blow over and break.
It's real good firewood. To me, it's like a cross between hard maple and oak. It's good firewood.
Be careful
Well, we
with
noticed
that.
that.
Chris. As soon as they, or not as soon as, but when they get infected with the beech bark disease, that density goes away, and
rot.
it burns like balsa.
Yeah, they rot from
Yeah.
the inside out. They get hollow, and
Right.
that's what- I've been on some logging jobs where they look at it and like, yep, we better cut it now, and then they cut it and they're like, well, we cut it too late,
Yeah.
That's like the water oak down here. They grow super fast, but they're all have full of heart rot. They rot from the inside out. Then you get
because it's so moist. Yeah.
right, and then you get the black carpenter ants, and then they eating on them.
Yeah. Well, some of those things, as you guys know, you saw them, and guys that are doing those, what's it called? Not the laminate. They pour the stuff that gets hard.
Epoxy.
Yeah, the epoxies.
Yeah.
There's some cool things. I mean, it might be an ugly piece of wood, but they can turn it into something kind of pretty.
I got a client. He buys small quantities at a time and does stuff like that. Little small epoxy pours. Has got the CNC and etches and does that whole 9 yards in there.
I actually I actually got to where a lot of my tree service guys were. I would tell them, yeah, you can bring me trunks and 12-inch limbs and bigger, but I don't want branches. So I was actually taking the trees that had defects in them, milling them, and making more money off the slabs that had the natural defects in them for those epoxies.
Just look at all of us guys here.
Right.
There's beauty in ugliness.
Absolutely. I'm the most beautiful, ugliest person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything that's different is good.
Down
we
there,
opened up a white pine one time, and we were cutting 2-inch slabs out of it, and it was full of ants and holes and everything. So he threw it off to the side. We had a guy come over, and he goes, "What are you gonna do with those?" And well, it's junk. I'll buy them from you. I want to make bar tops out of them. And I was like, "Are you kidding?" It was for a golf course. So I mean, the guy was like, "I'll give you good money for it." Okay.
I've had the same thing where actually some of those worm marks, not a ton of it adds people. They think they like the character.
Well, see, the pine, you let that sit in log form. You got that powder post beetle or whatever. They put the little tiny pinholes all through the wood, and it leaves a black circle around that pinhole. And like Eric and Matthew has talked before, that wormy pine or whatever, there are a lot of people like that. Plus, it's got a little blue in it. It adds a lot of character.
It adds a character.
Yeah.
Yep.
It costs more when it has character.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Cypress gets the pecky in it, which is a fungus before the tree dies, and puts all them holes all through the wood.
Oh yeah, that pecky cypress that brings more money than good cypress ever thought about.
Right.
Eric, that may be a question for you. Yep.
Yeah, I flat saw all my pine. There's no point in quarter sawing it.
No.
It's a good species right through the heart. It don't matter. It's now oak and all your other hardwoods. You stay away from heartwood, but in pine, just go right through it. You won't have no problem.
No problem at all.
We cut some maple today that had tap marks in it, and we were splitting it for firewood, and it was a sin because people pay big money for the tap marks in hard maple now.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Character and history and all that. And we saw it before it was too late. We were splitting, like, oh, we shouldn't have done that.
Some of those maples with the taps in them.
Now
Today about pre-selling lumber. Like we could take pictures of trees and just pre-sell them, like this prehistoric red oak.
Yeah.
Pre-sell the slabs before you cut the tree down.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Chris,
Well,
you're
we've done.
getting more into the lumber market. If you want to go professional, you got to let that beard grow out now.
Yeah, Chris, that's a little bear there.
Like
Quit
that
shaving
comment
that thing,
on-
let it grow out. At least have some stubble.
the
I just
comment on- I want to start getting in and selling that a lot more, the blued pine, because you don't see a whole lot of it around, like a whole lot of people offering that.
We have people that turn their nose up at the blue pine, and then people just love it. So
A lot of people I've had been
Love
cutting wood,
or
and I
hate
got a
it,
guy helping me right now. And you get it and cut it. I'm gonna say probably 80% of people have never even seen the bluing in pine, and you cut it and mill it and have a finished product there, and they're like, "Man, this stuff is beautiful. How do I get some?"
Right.
Oh yeah, Neil.
They've never seen it.
The more you do
Utah.
it, the more you're going to want to build a room like ours here, where you got a little bit of
Yeah.
every species
Everything.
you do, so you can show them what it'll look like.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't know what wood's going to look like when it's finished.
That's
yeah, I
right.
love that sweet gum
Nope.
you guys cut and dry and run through the planer.
Oh yeah, we still have yet to have a person figure out what that is up there.
Yeah,
We have just about every person coming in, and nobody's guessed it yet.
What one?
What's up on top of the wall here? That whole horizontal section.
now, how does that hold up outdoors? Do you know?
It's horrible.
It's horrible outdoors. It makes great wall boards, but outdoors it'll rot really quick.
Especially down there with all your humidity. Nah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know we
I
can
do
cut.
good at Craig's.
We cut sweet
Right
gum
here.
here. If it sits on the ground for a day, it's going to start molding. You gotta stack
Yeah.
or like take two boards and put them together. The next day you can pull them apart and they're already molding and growing mushrooms or something in them. So
I just checked Facebook Marketplace here in our area. Blue stain pine is going almost double what I charge for non-stained pine.
Right.
Wow.
crazy.
There is a market for it, but you got to create it and keep your stuff segregated. And
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's market for
It all
everything.
comes down to
You
space.
want to look at it that way.
I'd love to
All of
separate,
my-
but
all of my
they're killing
spruce-
us out.
All of my spruce has bluing in the sapwood.
is it pretty?
Does it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See, Mr. Floyd just put a comment up there. There you go. He, like I say, he does a lot of custom work.
Well, like I say, most people have never seen it, and they walk into a house and the floor is white and blue, and they're like, "What the heck is this?"
That's right.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Does
Our
it
problem
stay
is
blue
we'll,
too?
We'll get a little bit of
Yeah.
it.
It's a really dark.
The
really
Ponderosa
dark.
has the blue and the red in it.
Yeah, I cut some last year that looked like it had a lot of blue and it had a lot of red streaks in it too. It almost
yeah,
looked
the
like a mix
Ponderosa
between a
took
box
out
elder and a blue and pine.
Yeah,
There you
pink. I've seen pink in it also. A lot of pink.
Mm-hmm.
But that
Yeah.
blue in color is like it's almost black. It's grayish.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
pretty. It's neat. And it's got hard lines. It ain't like it's all
The
like
same.
you put something on it goes. I mean, it's hard lined and everything else. It's pretty neat.
It reminds me of sometimes you remember the coloring when the girls will do the pre-coloring where they outline the outline of the color with the darker,
Right.
you know, so you can see there was a different shade. Rick, like you used to color, remember?
Yeah. I remember there was a time we'd take blue stained pine and throw it over the back because it was no good.
Yeah.
Nobody
That's what
nobody
I read
wanted it.
the other day. He said, "Man, several years ago, you couldn't give a even framing lumber away, just dimensional with bluing on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mess
Nope.
with the integrity of the wood at all."
I don't
No, it
know what
doesn't.
you guys are seeing in your markets, but around here, the housing market's changing. The people that are building houses now, they don't want a 1970s ranch house that's wood from one end of the house to the other, but they do want a lot of natural elements in their house. And these
Right.
specialty products is what you can sell to put back in these homes. I've got some spalted maple mantles over here that we resolved for customers going in a modern home. I've got 8,000 feet of poplar nickel gap we got to make for a guy going back into a multi-million-dollar home because it come off his property. I see the market trending back to natural finishes, and I'm glad for it.
Mhm.
Same out here.
Well, I don't know what you call it, but here people are tearing apart pallets and they're making one wall in their
Mhm.
house out of
Accent
old pallet wood.
I have one.
And I tell them I can cut that wood for you a lot easier than you.
But it doesn't have the nail
Rip the
holes, doesn't have the
pallet.
stains, doesn't have the character.
Yeah.
Well, we sell a lot of it though. They're like, yeah, I pulled 3 pallets apart and I'm willing to pay to have it made.
Craig, is it
We'll
finally
just cut
getting
the-
dark around your house?
Let's get you to talk to Jack Beckwith about some of that pallet material, that pallet repurposing equipment, Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a ton of it. Or wood. I was surprised the Woodmiser had that much pallet equipment.
Did you watch the video of him tearing down some pallets with that pallet dismantler?
I did.
Mhm.
I
That
did.
looked like a man killer 9000. Ain't no way I'd run that thing. He threw
Well-
that pallet over there and pulled it across the blade. I'm like, Yeah, I could see that being one more OSHA violation right there, boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but then he had that one where it went and it would go do shingles or siding.
Yeah.
It's the
Wow,
same
that's
guy
pretty
invented
cool,
the lawn darts.
Charts.
Yeah,
Charts.
yeah. Throw them straight up in the air.
Run.
All right,
I
guys.
think
We've
rubber
reached
bands
that,
do that.
We've
we're gonna
reached that
step away.
time.
It's been a pleasure.
We've reached
That's
that
been
time.
awesome.
It's time to
Coming
shut her
on
down.
Both Chris's.
We
Well,
appreciate
thanks for the
everybody
invite.
that came and saw us tonight. The two Chris's, hang tight for just a few minutes. We come back on after we go off live. All right, guys. Thanks for coming along and thanks for your comments and interacting with us. And we'll catch you on the next third Saturday next month at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Good night, Irene.
Good night.
Thanks,
Good
everybody.
night, everybody. We want to thank everybody for stopping by the show tonight. And remember, it's the third Saturday of every month that we all gather and on the show. See you later, guys.